Wow, dude, you're this almost enough.
Yeah. I had it playing in the background, so I've got echo. So sorry, 2 seconds. There we go.
Echo, boys. Let's get it going. Let's get ready for the Vaush cakes.
So it's been a second since I've been here, and yeah, I'm
Yes.
screwing up left and right with these little buttons, but good
Now, to
time.
be fair,
Good
we
times
needed to do
indeed.
setup and
Oh
clarify
yeah,
some
probably
stuff.
should have gotten that all ready before going, but you know,
You got
doing it live.
We are doing this live, but it's
Oh yeah,
We're doing this live. Shit.
it is kind of a subject. It's like we don't want any horsing around.
Great. Come on, take it away. Take it away. Don't let the puns
you're
come out
always
of that
welcome,
man.
sir. You know, we sent it by Pony Express, but I don't know, man. It might have got lost along the way. But you're always welcome, based anytime you want to come on, Patrick. Yeah, just let me know. I assumed you'd be busy at this time of day.
The question is, what do you want to touch us with a 10-foot pole?
So delicately, you know. So I guess let me explain why we're here. So first off, we haven't been doing this for a minute,
Yes.
and yeah, I feel bad about that because you know, these are very fun.
It's the Canadian and Gray. Just get the people what they want. They came here for the Vaush.
Hey, Jeremy.
Okay, and the
awesome
lolly horse steak.
God.
So that is why we're here. So I lost internet for like 2 days, and then Tiamat hit me up and was like, "So did you see what was going on with this?" I did not. So I had to catch myself up. And my God, what I saw really kind of, I don't know, it blew my mind in a certain way. Because, you know, Vaush, for those not familiar with Vaush, he is a breadtube elite, if you will. He is one of the top leftists on YouTube. I don't know, not necessarily liked by the rest of the leftist YouTube, but yeah, definitely one of the higher rated ones. He's, I don't know, would you say like an edgier
notorious would have been a better term for
Fair
him,
enough.
but you know what?
Very notorious.
Everyone
But
needs
he had
self-election.
certain I don't know, would you call them rumors, or he had certain predilections that we all kind of knew about, but somehow he was able to skate away. I'm sure you knew about the rumors. I'm sure you'd heard them before.
Yep.
What's your
brush up for
kind
a
of
lot of
history
them.
with Vaush?
Well, I have no
Ooh.
personal
That
history
has to
with
be fun.
Vaush. Plenty of things. I even think I got into. I remember that back in the day when President Sunday was first starting out criticizing Vaush. Even got into the comment sections arguing with him about Vaush being a reactionary or not. But that's besides the point. But yeah, Vaush from the Doomer days, that video was just exploded. Doomer was everywhere. But even before then,
Oh yeah,
Vaush had his fair share of things if you take a look back. And Destiny's DGG.
yeah. And if you guys haven't seen that video, or you're not aware of the Doomer video,
It's called
Doomer
no,
Media.
I'll say this. It's called if you ever have to look it up on YouTube, I think Doomer Media, like
is Vaush unironically evil.
Yes, Vaush unironically evil.
Exactly. It is the infamous video, and if you need a backstory on him, that is the way. That is the place.
And by the
to
way,
see it.
you have to. Poor Doomer actually set through Vaush's videos to timestamp all that.
Oh, only 80 of them. I rewatched it myself. He's like, out of the thousands, I only watched 80 of them. So I'm not cherry picking with that.
Yeah, so he's only getting a taste, okay? He's not getting the full Vaush. Hopefully nobody gets the full Vaush. But,
just a little quick lore.
You guys had heard rumors about him, right? This wasn't like new to you, was
No,
it?
Rumors, there's videos detailing it. Just people ignore it or do apologia for Vaush because, you know, he's just that edgy leftist. He's so effective. We'll give him a pass. Even ContraPoints in that Cat Black thing with the DM and trans take sort of hurt him a little bit. But if we went over all of Vaush's controversies, we would be here all day. We're here for this current one, I believe.
Now, I do have to say this because he does. The only reason the Doomer video, it's just a good setup to understand Vaush because he spawned out.
Good title.
He
Too.
spawned out of the
He got bullied in
Destiny community. And then he broke off because he had
as Irish laddie, yes, and he had this whole little controversy where Destiny sort of had to deal with this girl, but I'm sure that's going to come up in this thing.
Actually, none of that is in this video. So if you want like the full history on him, do check out Vaush's unironically evil, excuse me, on Doomer's channel. It's an amazing video. It goes through most of his backstory, but yeah, he did come out of Destiny's whatever you want to call it, community, and he did have an incident with I guess we don't need to say her name or anything. Yeah,
she's no longer known as that, by the way. It's known as the but now I will say this. I don't know if you pulled it or not, because there was other stuff, because there has been
well, we can always, if it's relevant and you think it's relevant and we can come to a particular point, you can pull it and we'll bring it.
See if I can find
Let's
it.
not poison the well too much, gentlemen.
Sure.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what.
But he's had incidents in the past.
I was gonna say, Vincent. I was gonna say there was mentions of the him potentially liking the lolly as well as liking horses.
We're poisoning the well. We're poisoning the well.
That was kind of where I was going to get to. So my introduction to him was kind of the whole horse memes. There's plenty of memes, plenty of compilations. There's chats going back to like 2016. And we're going to get into some of that. But I just want to know if that was kind of your introduction to him or if I had that unique one. I didn't come from like a Destiny's community or anything like that. So I think I learned about him first through memes, and then I got to see his fun and interesting tactics.
I'll say this. I tried watching him legitly at one point because he was like that curious thing. Like he was doing the... it was him and Destiny doing the debate me bro culture.
Yeah.
And I do.
Yes. And he basically aped Destiny and really kind of took on that same debate me bro.
I will say, you want a good, interesting discussion, and it even floored Vaush of all his bad face stuff or takes. I like the Sargon debate and I like the Dankula debate.
Yep.
It's
all of them are
I really like that.
They are a classic. The Dankula one is classic.
Dankula just floored him. He went bam, wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
He's got a ton of familiar ones. So yeah, if you guys do want to see the backstory, like this dude gets millions of views. You know, he is all over YouTube. And he does have some iconic moments. We're going to see quite a few here. I think there's like 2 compilations they go through. So you get a lot of his greatest hits, but you might want more. So check him out if you want to for like full context.
I will say he was the original YouTuber, though. He popular.
Yes, he is one of the OGs.
He is the person. See, Vaush gained a lot of fame because he became the public face of progressive YouTube, like
bullshit. Sorry, dirtbag leftist. You mean? Okay, he's not. He was never the face of BreadTube. Okay, fake news, false information, man.
Nope.
He is one of those that is definitely referenced when you come to like the socialist side of it. He doesn't identify with them, and I don't think he's accepted with them, but he does seem to be lumped into them. So if I made it sound like he's literally BreadTube, he is not.
We call it BreadTube.
Often lumped with them.
Hey, most of them don't like the term BreadTube. H-Bomber Guy's example. A lot of them don't like that term. Are we going to mislabel them?
Well,
it's almost as bad as misgendering.
I mean, do you like being called alt-right? Because I'm pretty sure that's what you get called.
I don't think I get called alt-right. I get called a commie more.
I didn't think I would either, but I've been called that recently by some that would associate with them.
Shut up, you alt-righter, okay? And get on with the Vaush commie bashing.
Okay, so final question, and then we'll get to this amazing video and what happened. But are you guys very familiar with H3H3? Are you a fan of H3H3?
I know who he is, and I have known of him over the years. Which H3H3 are we talking about? Are we talking Ethan Klein days when he was doing stick humor versus when he was still in Israel, and then he did the later podcast?
Fair enough. I did not realize that you were talking about his changes. And so he definitely has changed over time.
He started
I
off.
used to
No, I'll
be
say
way
this.
more of a fan of
He
him.
started off as a skit person doing skits way back in the day. I remember when he had less than like
Yeah.
100,000 subs, and like he blew up kind of
Yeah.
thing. And
The Vape Nation meme was everywhere.
yeah,
For
he
sure.
started.
And he did some really cool stuff back in the day. I don't know if you remember that whole like humongous debacle, but
Oh, he was
that was
also
really
one of the
what it was.
reaction meta people. He was one of the
That was rather
Mhm.
epic, just like it was epic.
Yeah.
For some reason, my headphones switched on my ass. God damn it.
Oof.
Oh, sorry. Shouldn't
Oh,
curse
no.
here, but yeah. H3, definitely quite a storied history, I assume you're talking about. Go on. Sorry.
Yes. I was just going to say, like, I know that was a lot of people's introduction to him as kind of that whole humongous debacle, which, was pretty awesome. You guys should brush up on it. It was one of, I think, Ethan's better moments. It definitely, kind of put him in a new light for me. I had kind of just seen him as a memer. That's when I kind of
I
took him
think,
seriously that,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think maybe the copyright lawsuit is probably what happened before Humongous.
Yeah.
They're around about the
I
same
think so.
time.
I don't
Those two
think
events.
I don't think it wrapped up, but yeah, you're right. I think those two are the main things that kind of set him off. And then recently he had kind of like a surprise debate. I don't know what you'd call that. The Steven Crowder thing is probably the other thing that
I
really
remember
blew up.
him for his Leafy is here controversy. And then
Yeah.
when he was
Yeah,
going
but that's
against
minor.
iDubbbz, when he was well, of course, if you go off the lore with Ethan, he's the one. Well, rumor was he was Susan Wojcinski's favorite and could never be punished up until the Keemstar garbage that nuked a lot. But he was very famous for trying to get Leafy canceled.
Yeah, like way back in the day. I definitely remember those days. I wasn't paying as much attention to him. But so you mentioned a change. I'm guessing you used to watch him more. Has he kind of fallen off
He
for
fell
you?
off for me years ago when he started doing.
Mm-hmm.
See, my experience with like Ethan's side of the internet, YouTube, I should say, is I used to watch, like, I remember the dark days of Onision on this platform. When you had, because H3H3 would do the comedical shorts, like reactions and stuff. And he basically, there was like I used to like occasionally, like weird when you wanted to learn something, you watched a little bit of Keemstar, but then you grow out of that little edgelord teenager case, and you're like, Ethan Klein started turning into DSP.
Some of us do.
He started turning into DSP.
Fair enough. He did go a little bit down that road for a lot. I'm not exactly sure when I fell off, but it was definitely somewhere after he kind of made that turn. I know they kind of stopped making actual content, and then like
he
went to the
turned on
podcast
Jordan
thing.
Peterson. That's when he truly betrayed
that's what I was
the
gonna say.
people.
Like Peterson was on the actual podcast. I remember watching at that time, thinking like, okay, I think that might have been one of my introductions to kind of what their podcast was. I think I had fallen off before then, and then that kind of introduced me to, okay, they can sit behind a desk and talk to people. But I gotta say, he was really hit or miss for me. And then, I really fell off. And the last real time I watched, I think, was sometime when they did that kind of surprise debate where they tried to get, was it Sam Cedar against Steven Crowder, where Steven Crowder was supposed to talk to Ethan, and they did a bait and switch and got Sam Cedar in there. I don't know. It feels like they had really fallen off for me. Sometimes they'd have a celebrity in and it was kind of interesting, but I don't know. It felt like they had kind of lost.
He lost
something.
his charm. I never really liked him.
But
I loved his humongous.
I gotta say,
that was great. Not real Vape Nation
that was great.
guy. But it became a meme.
Vape Nation
it was the
decent,
era of the
man.
memes, then into some more serious stuff, the podcast, but then he went all like wonky. And the recent Hassan thing, I think, is actually very significant with the sort of turning of
for sure.
Well, I'll be honest. His discussion with because Ethan is one of those people on YouTube that actually he started off in the commentary like nuking era, because I have to go back and look what he started his channel.
Yeah, meme lord, some commentary, went into the podcast.
sure.
Yeah,
Then he had his leftist
It was fun, but he would do
awakening, you
more
know,
than one type of
Gaza
content.
Strip and shit like that.
Now
Yeah.
he broke up with Hassan. Really, I could understand why,
So-
because that's the
Yeah.
Israel thing, and that was perfectly
tragic.
valid. That's actually perfectly valid, because
There's good people on both sides, you know.
yeah,
You can't condemn both, but Hassan, of course, misinformation. Willie Mack has a great video sort of depicted the Hassan, and a lot of people covered the Hassan Ethan Klein breakup. Sad, too bad.
Little do you know, he's actually before, like, that's why I said I remember him when he was still doing the dual citizenship stuff. And
Remember Chewbacca?
He would be like, and that's what I say, Ethan had better days. It's like Keemstar wasn't always like, that wasn't always the dark side, but he like pretty much got boring. So like,
yeah, so did Keemstar. Now he created the Lolcow podcast, but I think that's a good amount of the
what
lore.
I've known about him. Yeah, is recently it's been more of a Lolcow thing. So he had the Trisha Paytas thing that totally blew up. He had the Hassan thing that totally blew up. But I'd kind of only been watching the peripheral. I didn't really get engaged into an episode until recently. Actually, Tiamat sent this to me, or at least told me about what happened. And I was kind of glued to the set. So I just had to keep watching this.
Poor Twitter feed.
It was interesting. Yeah. So I'm sure people have seen clips from it. And, it is quite amazing. I would recommend going to see the original. But we do have quite some choice parts of it.
There's other parts we're not going to touch for obvious reasons. I don't feel comfortable enough doing it, because it's
you don't feel comfortable doing a lot of things, Timon. So just be honest.
I take our own risks, by the way, but
wild risk. Let's go with the wildness.
No, but I'm going to say,
let's ride that horse all the way down
this
the lake.
This was all over. Like when this happened, I opened up, because I recently had an adventure in a side of the internet that I will be doing on my channel, or just covering, because unless Gray wishes accompanying me. I opened up my Twitter one day, and it was started one day. I'm like, what's this? Vaush and horses. Oh, and then I look, and the next day it was like one night, and then like within 3 hours,
Vaush horses being ridden by lollies.
Yeah, it was all over my Twitter feed, and it was all over there, and everyone was talking about it. And I'm like, oh, Lord. It was the worst 24 hours of Vaush's life. It was literally like Thursday or Friday when
you missed out on some good cringe content.
No, I saw it.
My internet was out, man. It was weird. I do wish that
yeah.
But I gotta be honest. I think this will explain the entire situation. But Vaush made a huge boo boo while streaming, but he was extremely fast at turning it off. But it's gonna be tough. But try so it's gonna play the clip a couple of times. But try and look at Vaush's face. The files are definitely blurred, but this is a face that he knows he did something wrong. But it took me quite a few rewatches to actually see his face on this one, and I gotta say it's worth it. But yeah, let's dig into this recent episode of H3H3.
Vaush recently, it was yesterday or the day before, he ended his stream in a panic after he accidentally exposed his corn folder. Here it is.
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to. What?
Oh, I forgot they have their logo over it. If you get a chance to watch the original, look at his face.
So this is how it
This is
ended.
an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to. What?
So that's how fast Vaush was able to actually stop his stream. So it was really quick, but I do wish that they didn't have the. So he was in the corner of the screen. If you do get a chance to see the original, try and see his face because that scream, it really accompanies his facial gestures perfectly.
Someone should put the
but
Wilhelm
yeah,
scream to it. That classic
it did
sound
have
effect.
that, right? Like, I think we'd be amiss not to clip that scream. You kind of need that. So yeah, that feels like an after stream thing that we got to take care of. But I don't know, just that's how quick it can go, apparently. So they're going to explain what's going on and what's in this folder that he accidentally exposed.
Do you guys
But
remember?
yeah, that's the entire length of the incident. I believe it then went to like a quick screen and then cut off. But he was pretty quick with it. Quick enough that like his chat was asking him if he had like a foot switch to kill the scream. Not quick enough to, it would be nice if he was on a delay, if you will, but he was not. So yeah, be careful where you save files to.
Do you guys remember because what it struck me odd as prior to this, do you remember the streamer the Twitcher who did the AI art of other Twitch women, and he had to apologize to his girlfriend?
Your phone went out.
I forget the person's name.
Yeah, I remember that thing in particular. It was quite interesting, and I don't know how that really follows.
That's not as bad as this.
Yeah, he was just blatant about that. Okay, he just went riding along with that shit.
I will say, here's the thing: Vaush probably streams from his personal computer, but if you're going to do this, have multiple monitors, or
well. I don't know if the multiple monitors would help because he was sharing his actual screen. So he was showing men's fashion to his audience as he normally does, and then decided to save the image, and it just went to his last save folder.
On that, but that's besides the point. Yeah, last folder.
That's what he said. But he was sharing the screen. So even if he had two screens, sometimes you forget which one you had your last file window in because
I'll be honest,
it pops up.
It's either because I'm starting to use OBS and sounds different on OBS.
So you're an automatic expert.
I'm like,
okay, let's not try to give the big streamer advice to how to do this. I'm sure he's gonna try to prevent this, but I think it's a little too late in this particular case.
He has no wife.
It might be because there's been a lot of screenshots of just that really quick capture. There's a lot of threads all over Twitter that are explaining exactly what each and every one of those thumbnails that was exposed were. Yeah, so there's that, but I mean, like, there's threads that they explain exactly what characters they are, exactly what age they are, exactly what artist it is, where it came from. In fact, one of the artists is going to come up, but they're quite aware of this, and they retweeted the situation as well. They're making some notoriety off of this, and good for the artist.
I do have to wonder where Vaush's anti-loli stands. Because, it's degenerate stuff. But you figure if anyone would actually be into it, this is a guy who's like, dude should be cucks, okay? They should let their wives or girlfriends go out and get other boyfriends and bring them back and have wild sex here and there. You figure, and especially with the sort of child consent, which everyone's going to bring up nowadays, his argument. I've seen clips of it. I don't know the context. He's going to say that's taken out of context and it's debunked, but that's the typical cope I've seen.
So Vaush is going to deny it, that there was not enough context given, but do watch the original H3H3 podcast. So they do go through these couple of compilations that I clipped, and then they go into each of them in more detail and actually get the context both before and after, and then Vaush giving additional context into it. I didn't clip all of that because, why just stream their entire stream? But I thought the way that they presented this was really awesome. Yeah. So do check that out for more actual context, and then check out his channel as well if you can stomach it after this. But Yeah, I think let's get back to it for just a second.
And it's
I think
not
you're gonna
even
see
his
something-
weird sexual taste that you have to
No.
stomach. It's just how he just goes on and such bad faith.
It's
You'll identify it from
Yeah.
the Doomer video.
Okay.
Bullet point for Vaush's bad faith. When he says he's going to be honest, generally he's not. Maybe he's changed.
Generally, an honest person doesn't tell you like, "Now I'm going to be honest here." I don't know. It just seems like a weird tell. But yeah. Let's. So they're going to describe this folder that was exposed now, and everything that was inside the, as it's colloquially called, the horse folder or horse
It's
file.
lovely
excuse me.
AI art, by the way.
That's a face of a man who knows. There's 5 folders.
Yeah.
Thank you. So there's old. There's a folder that says old. This document is called to be sorted. There's 5 folders in it. Old, taxes.
So that's kind of interesting. Like, I would have thought that if he has a taxes folder, it would already be sorted. But yeah, the overall name of this folder that has 5 folders and about 20 images in it is called To Be Sorted. So he's got a system. He just hasn't sorted this yet. And the latest picture that he saved just went to here. So yeah, they mentioned 2 of them. So there's taxes is one of them. But okay.
XXX gifts, XXX pics, and XXX vids.
Nice.
And now you get to the kind of unsorted, downloaded images that are populating. there.
Miscellaneous.
And yet to be sorted.
Now, the first thing I'm noticing is a King Garu from the new Legend of Zelda, and it appears to be, I can't be sure, but it appears to be King Garu porn.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That's King Raru.
What do we think?
That's the one Vaush wants to fuck.
Huh. So I got to be
Well, of course.
honest. I think this was a little after I fell out with Zelda, but I
Tears of the
can't
Kingdom,
remember
man.
enjoying. Yeah, I've heard it's great. I got to be honest. I just did not get back into it. But is there any interest that you see in this? I guess he's the villain in Tears.
Oh, no, I don't think he is, but I haven't actually played
Oh, okay.
Tears.
I
I
thought
have a
that's
whole
how they
backlog.
introduced him.
But yeah, I think he's one of the, if I'm correct, I think he's one of the warriors or captains, someone on one of the 4 tribes. It's basically you go to 4 different tribes, you get their sort of power, blah, blah, blah. You go fight the big bag.
Fair enough.
Some of this, by
so
the way, I'm gonna say this. Like, you gotta understand, there is a way. Like, as I said, he's streaming from his personal computer. Now, I'm
Yeah.
assuming
As a lot of us do.
Now, can
Yeah.
we? You're missing the obvious joke of he tried to organize it like it's because there is a little bit of backstory that I don't think the clip is, and it's like the other is it's in other people's stuff who covered this. Like I'll pull up I think a bad Empanada's video. Like if we have time and we're not going over. It's like an 18
Oh,
minute
spoilers, man. Okay.
But-
okay, just keep this in mind.
He basically says
Vaush thinks he's the goat, so he sort of finds this goat man very
So-
sexy. It makes perfect and utter
Yeah,
sense.
so. Vaush basically does
That was-
the problem of not only he actually told on himself and he said he saves random images. It's like
Yeah, why
Yeah,
does he save it?
but it
There's
does
many
seem
things
weird.
to really go
Are there-
into that.
What would you save this image for though? Like I don't know, is he just a connoisseur of Nintendo images
he is
or
the goat.
Zelda?
No, we can always
It is
speculate.
interesting. But he does actually address this in the very end, so we will
Oh,
get to
that's
that.
nice.
There are some
Are
spoilers.
you not going to mention the? By the way, are none of you going to ever think about the reason? I had this discussion with one of my friends. That's not even.
We don't care about your friends.
So
Okay.
one of my people, like there is a big industry for commissions
Or
and
goat sex toys?
or
You
deviant
figure that
art.
would be a little niche market and not a big industry.
Deviant art is
Yeah.
a very deviant art commissions are a thing.
Ooh.
You know, I wonder if that's gone extremely down
Oh.
since like AI art. So I used to be on
Oh,
DeviantArt
probably.
like way long ago, but goddamn, I'm just wondering, like ever since AI art, like does anyone commission anything down there anymore?
Oh, I'm
Twitter,
sure.
But
I'm
okay,
sure.
so
Twitter,
this
no,
is
it's still
some
all
of
over
the
Twitter.
tamest.
I can confirm that. I can confirm it because I'm doing an investigation into something, and I came across a bunch of people who do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair enough.
sheesh. People funded a lot of stupid things. Okay, look at Progressive Victory, which I'll probably bring up in a bit because it might play a factor in this. It might not. It's really hard to tell.
Well, this is kind of on the tamer side of what's in there, but yeah, let's let them keep going for a minute.
Oh, it's definitely horse-like.
Yeah.
You think it's horse-like?
I mean,
Deer-like, deer-like, maybe.
goat.
Yeah, maybe it's more
Sheep-like.
like a deer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see this as horse-like, but at the same time, it's not unhorse-like.
Ram-like?
I don't know. I think goat or deer would be
Ram,
closer to
maybe?
me. I'm thinking goat. Yeah, I could see ram or goat. He doesn't have the weird eyes though, so I don't know. Yeah, that's usually a giveaway for goat to me. Or
Japanese
ram.
or
But
well, you bear in mind, if it's a Japanese game, they're probably going to use their section of the folklore or what they use. And this is no bash on like Tears of the Kingdom or any.
Yeah, it's just a bash on the Japanese
No,
genre-centric
wow.
freak. I swear, I will not have you
But
bash the Japanese.
I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna
Greg,
make
you
you
can
watch
mute him.
Promise. I'm gonna make you watch
can't handle
Promise Neverland.
I promise to not watch that. But okay, so this isn't where the horse rumors are coming from. This is one of the lesser
just
horse
icing
things.
on the cake.
There's worse.
But let's let him describe a little bit more of what's in this file.
Definitely not human.
Yesterday when we were talking about it on the live stream, I found a Twitter thread saying that one of the animes depicted in these thumbnails are apparently of the main character in that anime is 16, which is quite deeming.
So
that's
it's
my
a sex.
understanding.
It is a sex.
So there's going to be a little bit more on this, but it's very interesting. So apparently the character that they're talking about is a VTuber avatar, but sometimes it's depicted much, much younger. And Vaush keeps wanting to go to that as a safety, that it's, not this depicted
Oh yeah, I've
younger.
heard
That
plenty
is
of
obviously
arguments.
lolly
I know
thing.
this one commentary
But-
person who has a childlike figure, but because it's a jelly figure, they're like, it's not lolly, it's not human. There's plenty of copium around this sort of artwork.
Even the older version of this is supposed to be 16 at the oldest. So not that that's, good at all, but that is his defense on
has
it.
it been created? It's paper, but yeah.
I don't know. I do not know. But that's the character that they're talking about. But I think they keep referring to it as anime. But it is just an anime.
It
VR
is Ethan.
avatar,
Ethan
VTuber.
is probably not familiar with VTubers, so
Fair enough. I am not. I only know a cat. Other than that, I know nothing.
Series.
I wish I knew less
There's
about
an anime
VTubers.
of it, and I guess this is a sexual version of
Okay,
that
so
anime.
in the anime, she is specifically 16 years old.
And then
16
He
is
has
the age
porn
of
of
and then
this
it has a porn
character.
of that character.
Yeah. And there's a photo I saw that was like, there's the one I saw on that you showed me, AB.
Yeah.
That Ela's got to see that.
When you go below
I'll send you
16,
it.
like 15 and stuff like that.
But here, it gets kind of hard to see because it's so small. But here, I mean, it just looks like.
So yeah, this stuff is all very against TOS. So I can't bring it up even in the blurred form. I don't see one that's
the blurred
super
form was
blurred
not
enough.
even that well censored. You could still make it out.
So if you do want to see it, viewer discretion advised, but it's like all over Twitter. You can find one
Just
and
don't
in very
tell
high
us.
def,
Don't
and
tell
there's
us.
threads
Yeah.
that go through everything.
By
By
the way, I
wish
want you
didn't,
to react.
but,
I want you to see Ethan's face. Look at his wife's face. That is the most.
Yeah, I was gonna say, watch Ela's face too,
That is,
because he had to make her see this. I think he's getting some pleasure in really disgusting her. But yeah,
that is a face of a man who's shaking
Hentai.
his head.
There's
and
some big ass horse cocks. Here's a
Studious
girl
Tourette's,
shooting a
okay?
horsecock. Here's a horsecock silhouette with a big horsecock. Here's more Lord Raru fairy stuff. You see the horse here? And then this is a horse dick. Yeah.
Well, you see the corner
And
of her
then
mouth and how it sort of like
This is
gently glides up
um,
and her head follows through. We're
Yeah,
doing a
I
play
think,
by
their
play with the
faces do kind of.
expressions now.
Well, I think they paint a picture of what exactly she's seeing. Like this isn't just tame stuff. This isn't just somebody's mild porn folder, and this is just his unsorted stuff. So I don't know. That's it's a little yeah.
Who knows
I
if he
think
was
really
going to keep
a
them?
picture's worth 1,000 words.
Okay, these
Yeah,
were just
you're
like
right. He might have been
these
sorting
are
them right.
contenders.
He had to save them for something, but yeah, who knows what? Research.
This stuff is super graphic.
You see
Actually,
this?
Yeah.
This. What do you think of that?
16 is the age of
That's
consent.
vile.
I don't like it.
It looks like a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
really. And then here's another one. This one was on there too, of the same character. So
She even had to
those
like
are the
look
images.
away. It
This is just
seems to be
The
so
page.
offensive. So this is the VTuber that they're talking about. This is the page. So yeah. Oh wow, that was awesome that it just zeroed back. I think we're right there.
She's a VTuber, I guess, or I don't know what all that means, but it's a virtual.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Personality.
So VTubers have
Virtual
lore.
YouTubers.
So VTubers have
Yes.
like lore to them. Like they have.
Yeah,
like,
and I don't really care.
I'm just saying, like each VTuber has their own personality, and they're like. And so when people write the characters, that's what they
I
are.
can definitely tell you come from Arch and Dev's community.
I
with
come
how much
from
you care
Arches.
about it.
Now.
Okay, let's not go too
Connoisseur
deep.
of the VTubers is B.
Okay, yeah. Kid is favorite man of the people, the Romanian.
Oh.
I mean, some of them have it down, but I don't know. Can
Well,
they
let's not
bring
get
it
too
in like
involved with
the
the VTubers.
anime ones? Yeah, but that was the particular one that they're talking about. That she's 16.
That
The avatar
disgust on her
is ageless
face
at
says it
16,
all.
which
And Ethan has
think
that
so.
deer in the headlight looks. What did I look at? That's kind of like I just saw something horrifying.
Yeah, you're overrating it. Be like, what the hell is up with these people? They are complete weirdos. I don't think it's as much disgust. You could see disgust. That sort of like shocks and horror. She's just like, really? Why do people? Let's not try to read too much into these faces.
I don't want to say it. What they call it is what they call some of this stuff, and I'm assuming Vaush is. I'm hoping not into this. Is probably Yif.
Oh, whoa. Play it, Gray. Play it, Gray. People,
Matsuri is an energetic, expressive, and somewhat chaotic cheerleader girl who is bubbly as a festival. I've read enough.
The way a lot of fucking weirdos get away with kind of stuff like this is they say in the lore, this character is like 1 billion years old. And
Oh
she's like
yeah,
a fairy
that's
or
the
whatever.
lolly shit.
Yeah, but then like it looks.
I don't know. Is that similar to saying like whoever's voicing her would be older if this is like 3 years old or something like that? The actual VTuber or whatever. I don't know.
He's trying to use.
Seems like it's along that
He's
same.
trying to use the Dragon Maid excuse. Okay.
Yep. And this is probably where Vaush
I think it's kind of creepy.
Vaush jumped on to the bandwagon. I think it's speculation on my behalf. There was a certain push a few years ago to sort of on the left to sort of make anime seem the most worst thing. Attack on Titans, fascist. The Dragon Maiden definitely was a push by the left. And reality is really, really weird stuff. But I did a video on
You
it.
guys
Actually.
come out of Adam and Stitch's community. Vaush's original avatar was the TV thing from.
Of course.
Was the TV
From
thing
Holy
from
Cooley, okay?
And that
it
supposedly
was a
triggered
variation
Adam,
of it.
by the way.
Good.
I do remember that. It kind of triggered me too.
Okay.
All right. I guess let's hear more of what's going on with this VTuber.
Looks like a fucking infant or some
Yes.
shit.
So wait, in this though, she's not. She's
In this
16.
case, it's even worse because it's like confirmed she's 16. And
They
she
don't even
looks,
pretend,
She
yeah.
looks 9.
Yeah. And in the picture
So, yeah,
from the
sometimes
horse
they depict her
file, she looks
younger.
even younger, honestly.
That one's really fucked up.
Yeah, they're
There's
always
one of
right
her,
age in
correct
the
me if I'm wrong,
shippers.
filleting a horse.
I can't, okay, because it's blurred, the clearer version, but she's doing that to someone. I can't tell if it's a hairy man or a horse.
Okay. Now, here's a comp.
Yeah, that's not good. Again, if you must, it is online, but these are all really hard to kind of understand what he's saving them for. But yeah, they do paint a picture with their words.
Compilation. Okay, so if there's anything out of context here, let me know. This was made by the YouTube Police Department. Here's some of the greatest hits.
So yeah, if you want to see any of these compilations, do check out YouTube Police Department. I think they've got a couple on Vaush, but yeah, this is kind of a bunch of his greatest hits. So everyone had kind of known the rumors that he has certain predilections and that he would defend certain things. But when you see what he had in that folder and then you hear what he defended and then what he really liked, it kind of paints a different picture. And I really like the way that these guys kind of tied these two together, and then they go further and they explain the context behind each clip. But yeah, if you're not familiar, here's some of Vaush's greatest hits, if you will.
Let's listen.
Assuming child porn be legal, I think that would be, yes, more legal and more ethically consistent. Yes, 100%.
Listen very carefully to the exact language that I use.
I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal.
The argument that I was making, and I've made this argument a bunch of times, and I've addressed this poorly made argument a bunch of times here. Why is the possession of child pornography immoral? People are inconsistent in their moral outrage at commodities which hurt people when they're produced. So people will laugh off cocoa butter or chocolate or or cobalt or other products that we tend to get through a really, really unethical system, but then they're really, really quick to deny.
Well, we do have a special place in our heart for child.
Pause. What's the time frame for that?
Yeah.
I like timelines. I believe that comes from about 3 years ago, from what I know. But you might have
I believe so. It was when he had come out of the Destiny community. There was a lot of, if you want to call it like debate with people like Amos Yee back in the day, where they were saying that there is like an ethical way to do child porn. I believe that particular clip is more than 3 years old. I want to say it was 2018, but so he was reacting to one clip, and then that was after that.
By the way, that's kind of like really early when he was still doing the
It is early
commentary
Vaush.
from like he did commentary
just
over
came out
gaming.
of Destiny's community at that point. But he goes through and he does give complete context for that clip, and they actually show the complete context for everything. He was actually clarifying when he does that second one. So you can see it on H3H3's, or if you want to go to his actual thing, it's still up. You can definitely see the entire context for that. But he seems to be equating anything that is unethical. So like, there is a way that somehow this horrible, horrible content that 100% harms children could be done in an ethical way. It just sounds really, really strange to say like, well, how can you talk about this? You have cobalt or chocolate or, any of these, coffee, any of these things that could be unethically sourced.
And this is what it's not that all of this builds towards, right? And I'm assuming there's a lot of really dark history on Vaush. I'm assuming he comes in. There'll probably be a clip because he blames it on his autism and his social interaction.
And this is why his sort of lolly take
I
seems a little bit weird to me. Okay, this is why his lolly take. He's had it
actually
up to 2
railed.
years.
See, here's the thing: is part of the pun. He actually railed against the people who liked Lolicon, and then he gets caught with this.
Yeah, that seems. I think from Doomer's video, you'll find out, anyone who watches it, Vaush is all about optics. Truth doesn't matter to him. It's what's optically efficient for him. And I think this is something that's going to be interesting given progressive victories in Brianna Wu's sort of stance on
Now,
Lolly.
I will say his audience does protect him, or they're like, it's okay.
Very much
and
so.
it's like,
Oh, you don't even know the start of it, okay? Well, try
I
watching a little
dropped
bit
out
of
of
Chud
co-
Logic.
I actually see Chud. By the way, if anyone else wants to watch something interesting on this, but it got exported to Rumble, and Arch.
Nope,
Dev
not
and
Arch. Do
Chud
not
Logic.
promote other people on Gray's channel. You do not.
But look at that.
Sorry, Patrick had a comment for you, Tiamat. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I think
stop,
based off of
stop.
that, we got to keep going. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Keep it moving, folks.
I think
Seriously
in
trying to
general.
make a
He says you eat
legitimate.
chocolate. You eat
What?
chocolate, but you don't. But you dare to care about child pornography, and you eat chocolate. You're gonna sit there and eat chocolate.
An insane take.
Will laugh off cocoa butter or chocolate or or cobalt or other products that we tend to get through a really, really unethical.
Those things can be produced ethically.
Mm-hmm.
Child.
It's a really good point. Yeah, can the latter be produced ethically? I would argue no. Perhaps Vaush has a way that it could. I don't know. Yeah,
Again, it's not
this
about
is him giving
the
concept.
truth. It's about the argument and what he needs it to serve as. But you know what? Maybe I'm being bad with that.
Pornography cannot.
And also, I don't think people necessarily know that it is made unethically. I've only learned about that recently when we're talking about chocolate.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, fuck me, dude.
System, but then they're really, really quick to denounce child porn. Now, you'll never be able to find a clip of me saying that I think it's good to have child porn.
Should consuming child porn be legal?
You
Yes,
guys
100%.
Please, right now,
You guys forgot about Vaush's famous example. I'm very reminded of. He was talking about something, not this, but he was talking about something very bad. Then saying the creation of cell phones was
I think this
Oh,
ties
he's used
into
this
this.
argument
Okay,
quite a bit.
I
It
think this
He
is. I
was
think even
on
his
this arc
Coconut
for quite a while.
Island argument is sort of like this in a certain regards. He
And they
has an
all
interesting
are a bit
way of
deranged
with,
in a way, right?
yeah, definitely.
It's
the ethical.
they all have a certain lean that's. I don't know what you'd call it.
for the
just
greater
gross.
good.
Like all of his analogies. Yeah, it's just. I don't know. Rosales brings up a
I
good
have
point.
a strong
I
sneaking
don't.
suspicion about all of this.
I think Patrick has
not
the correct answer to that. But
it's close
yeah,
enough to count.
let's let him keep going. But he is saying that you could ethically possess it apparently, and I don't know. That just I don't understand his ethics, I guess.
Cuck your dumb shit libcuck fucking SJW brains and recognize this empirically correct fact that I am about.
Once again, he sets it up in the clearest terms possible. Clear your ears out, everybody. Sit down and listen to every word, which I mean with my whole body and soul.
Spit. It is possible.
He is a good wordsmith.
For an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well.
That's game.
This completely goes against psychology and even human nature, for Christ's sakes. That's just insane. Look at Milo Yiannopoulos with his experiences. You think that might have factored into it? That's assuming Milo during that Joe Rogan that got him canceled is being.
It seems to be that exact same take as Milo had. It's really weird that everyone went after Milo when he was basically saying, without the porn part of it, just the relationship could be okay for some children, and that just got him canceled. This was a little bit before that, and he is on the correct side, so I don't know.
And this is what makes me think about the Lolly, his stance against Lolly. Yes, it's simulated CP, okay, but that almost theoretically, if the artist doesn't use reference and just from the memory, it actually does not hurt any children. So this sort of this sort of back and forth.
I don't
hurts
know
my
about
head.
that. Yeah,
Well-
I don't know if I really want to get into that, but I could understand
should
like
I
the
say
argument if
the
it was like to
creation? If you want to
destigmatize for
get into
treatment.
the effect it gives on people, that's a
Yeah.
different story.
I
That's
I was gonna say
the
it produces
creation.
more of a product, and I would have to think that would make more of a need for it. I don't know. I don't know the psychology behind this, but I'm not
And
sure it is a good
have
thing.
you- there's
I hope
something-
someone smarter than me could weigh that
Okay,
out
guys,
and figure
question.
that out because
I'm
it
just
seems
making
so
the
wrong to me.
comparison how there definitely is an ethical wrong to the children from most
Yeah.
ethical standpoints, even from a psychological standpoint. Being forced into that sort of situation for child, that sort of creates all sorts of problems going on. Even DID, early childhood trauma, can cause a multitude of issues. Factored on anything
For sure.
genetically, any genetical crap that someone might have that might give them problems. But yeah, I went on and up.
I want to say
I don't know
something.
how he survived
There
that.
was a really old scandal with Vaush that is probably relevant to this, and it's not.
Which one?
I
Like
don't
shooting
know.
fish in a
Okay,
barrel.
some people might remember this, and don't take me for verbatim because I can't remember the guy's name.
Are you going to take Vaush out of context again?
He actually moved a younger person, I think his name was Connor, into his house because Vaush is pansexual. Pansexual, yes.
Okay.
And
Allegedly, remember, this is all allegedly, guys. Come on, keep
he
going.
allegedly
Yeah,
moved
I don't
a
know
person,
anything about
like
that
a
one.
person in
Yeah.
there, and it was like what you call a gender fluid person or a trans person.
Okay,
And
there's
had a
rumors that he had a little sex slave. Beautiful stuff. Let's move on. Allegedly.
I mean, who doesn't have rumors like that about them? But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
I
don't
know
like
anything about that one. That
Xander
one doesn't
but
come
he
up in
had that
here.
rumor about his sex cult. Okay, I don't like Xander
Indeed.
Hall at all. But
There's
that
an
seems
old clip
insane.
that showed up recently that he was arguing with someone there, like when he was like talking about something, and he's talking to a person that was living
Went to
there.
the club and did that thing with the man. Sorry,
It's fine.
man.
It's in the house, but that's a period of the internet. Some people want to forget.
Well, gratefully, I did. I don't remember that one, but I do remember this portion of it. Yeah.
I don't know how he survived that. We're going to get the full context. You can't say that. That's not fair. We're going to watch them all.
And they do.
Gotta watch
again,
them
if you want the full
all,
context,
Vaush.
watch their full episode. They did then go into the context for these clips, but trust me, the context does not change it. It, in fact, in a couple cases, makes it
we're almost
worse,
done with the context.
as he's clarifying.
That sounds like over the line of good faith for Vaush. If what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
But watch for yourself for
True.
the full context. Of the full context.
Well, and then we're going to hear from Vaush, and he says exactly the opposite. So,
cracker, but not
yeah.
for saying pedophilia can be good for children.
Which is an
Sick fucking
exact
world.
quote.
Here, I'll ask you. Just follow through
No,
with
I
me 30
don't.
seconds.
I'm not an
Pause,
idealist. I'm not going
pause.
to talk about hypothetical.
Pause, Gray. I know about this. Non-compete. Vaush was an asshole to his wife. Vietnamese. They're both
Yeah,
leftists.
I can't
He's
remember her
more of a
name.
tanky, okay?
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up the non-compete. I remembered him. And I'm like, oh yeah, he had problems with Vaush back in the day because he was really an asshole to his wife. You can move on. I just wanted to bring up some context
No, he
for this
is,
clip.
and that's why this debate happened. And you can watch the full debate on Non-Compete's channel and also on Vaush's. And Vaush is rather upset with Ethan that he grabbed it from Non-Compete's channel. That apparently speaks volumes to him that he didn't grab the Vaush version of this because he could have also. had Vaush's side of this.
egotistical. Well, of course, Vaush also probably puts all that special
sorry, Lucy,
context
not-
before and after.
Not
Who,
Vaush.
Non-Compete?
This Non-Compete guy has a wife who Vaush was mean to. So sorry if we made that unclear. But yeah, Vaush, I believe, does have a girlfriend currently, or at least during his most infamous clip, he did have a girlfriend.
Ark, his girlfriend got Destiny canned. At least she took credit for it. Or was that the roommate? I don't know.
Either way. But yeah, let's hear part of this debate with Non-Compete. And he goes into a very strange analogy yet again. His analogies always have this, I don't know what you'd call it, perverted bend to them.
that don't have any bearing
Coconut
on material
Island.
reality. I'm not going to talk about hypothetical situations where adults can molest children and it has a positive outcome. Not something I'm going to talk to you
You're
about.
the one talking. Wait, hold on. First of all,
Oh, and in the background, all of those things scrolling by in this compilation are all of his Discord messages. Somebody did a search through everything where he said horse, and there's enough that this scrolls for like the entire clip. There's entire compilations of just scrolling of just the lines that he's saying during in Discord chats, and like the general Discord. These aren't direct messages or anything like that. And then on top of that, there is
makes
this,
you wonder if horse is a code for something.
Yeah, there is this infamous quote that Vaush has, and I think Ethan is going to read it in a second. But yeah, this is one position that Vaush has walked back. So he no longer believes in the one that's in the quote on the screen, to give him credit.
I don't know why you want.
Here's a comment from his Discord, which I'm assuming is real. I don't know, but it says, "The way I see it, the age of consent exists out of respect for the numerous power imbalances older people have over younger people. As those imbalances, or at least some of them, are redressed through the advent of socialism, the age of consent should therefore be lowered." I knew it was socialism that was doing this to people.
Excellent joke.
Yeah, that is a really good joke. And that's what I mean. Like, this felt like H3H3 back in, like, their former glory. I could be wrong.
They
Maybe
both
I've
have
just missed
smiles,
the good
especially
stuff.
Ethan.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him
I know.
smile in ages.
How long has it been
Whoa.
since you've seen him? Exactly. So I thought this episode was awesome, and I thought some of his jokes were just like amazing. So I wanted to keep some of them in. I didn't want to, steal all his good jokes. So please check it out. It actually was a really good episode. But that quote that he put up. So again, to give him credit, apparently Vaush no longer believes that in an actual socialist society, the age of consent could be lowered. Apparently he's come to his senses on that. He doesn't believe that anymore. So I do want to give him that credit.
I'm sure.
That is no longer.
I mean, I would be curious. I would be curious because people forget, though. Like,
people forget that he's perfectly fine with lying if it
do
furthers
you guys
his
remember
cause,
the
okay?
whole, like, I joke about this,
By
but
any means is the very
I joke about, like,
Vaush's philosophy, and I don't think he's changed since that Doomer video. And
I joke about the Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't like women over 25, but now that's a meme that.
It has nothing to do with Vaush unless you're trying to compare him.
I want to
and
say,
the
because
Django
do you remember the
Unchained,
backlash? Do you remember the
Candy.
backlash that Keemstar got when he started dating like a 25-year-old?
For
I
sure.
think she was younger than that.
Yeah.
Or the current.
I was going to say,
girlfriend,
was
okay,
she
Brantley?
25?
Boogie
But
got
yeah,
the same thing.
I think there's been a lot of interesting, weird internet. I don't know what you'd call it. Drama.
Personalities
Over this. It seems
dating
weird.
down in age to almost a high degree.
I don't know,
But
man.
he's rich,
I guess I just don't get it.
No.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess it works
Just
for Leo
dating with
DiCaprio.
whoever's.
But I don't know.
I can believe both Keem and Boogie has the emotional intelligence of someone in their 20s still, even though they're in their 40s. Okay.
What was the story? We didn't cover it. Do you remember? You heard about? I was thinking Al Pacino's kid. He has a kid was like a 30-year-old.
Yeah, and what's he, like 70? He just had a
How
kid or
dare
something?
you bring up Al Pacino?
Pacino is awesome, man. But Pacino has nothing to do with this. Moving on.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Talk about this.
So imagine, all right? Imagine aliens come down to Earth.
This is
and they
absolutely
say,
ridiculous, Vaush.
Yeah.
Oh, pause it,
Okay,
pause
so-
it, pause it. Oh, pause it. I'm
So-
pretty sure there's a Fimios video where he uses the same argument against Nicholas Diorio.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. And
I
he
just wanted
does
to
end
put that
up
out.
using the same argument, or he does end up getting his full
Over
argument
and
out there if you do
over
want to
and
hear it. But
over, like
that's how
Coconut
he's
Island. He has
justifying
his
how
good
there
old
could
favorites.
be ethical production of something extremely unethical if aliens somehow showed up. It is everything that every analogy he uses is just a little weird to me. But that one, it's an interesting one. But yeah, that is not the only place that he's used it. Thanks for pointing that out,
Whoa.
Vincent.
Whoa, aliens showed up.
yeah.
We probably could have socialism. So it's sort of a fantasy of probably a lot of socialists, because socialism isn't very practical, in my opinion. It doesn't work.
No. Yeah. Yeah, let's see where else they go from here. I think this is the most popular clip. It definitely, every time I hear this, this comes to mind.
Okay. Granted, a lot of those were not the full context. And
Wait, is this guy seriously saying that I can't get laid? Incredible. I'll give you 5,000 if you can get poontang before January 1st. Do you have any idea who the fuck you're talking to? When I got off
Yes, someone who's willing to get poontang by force if need be.
I don't. So this is, to me, the most infamous clip of this guy, and apparently it's all a joke. He is a master comedian, but I don't know. He seemed very triggered to me. I don't know. Maybe I don't
know.
understand
He totally got his ass wiped in both comedic and debating versus Dankula. I think he's just
when he got kicked out of Destiny's Discord because someone, Vincent, you linked me the video. When he got kicked out
the
of
Poppy
Destiny's
thing, which we alluded to, sexual harassment. He made excuses for it. You know, the standard jump through 50 million hoops, which we're going to see again if I'm remembering this right.
But yeah, I think this is the quintessential piece de resistance, the ultimate Vaush clip that like just plays in my head. I don't know why. It's just something about his delivery on this. Anytime I hear this city,
Viva la revolution.
I have to go to this. So be warned, this is an earworm. It may stick with you.
The fucking quarantine, Tacoma wept.
Brother.
Even like ignoring the fact that I have a girlfriend, even if we're just talking like randos, I'm 2 hours away right now from being inside somebody else. This is one. I have two skills, and it's non-monogamy and speaking publicly. Okay, do some fucking research.
Do some research.
I mean,
yeah. So I might have cut that off a little bit early, but he was saying that when he got off Tinder, Tacoma wept. It is, I don't know. Like, I guess this could be his sense of humor. Maybe this was all a joke, but I don't know. The way he seems so triggered to me, I don't know. I don't think it's funny in the way that he intended.
Vaush
but
like hookup culture?
Perhaps I'm wrong.
That's probably what he's implying.
Well,
yeah,
he's 2 hours away from being inside of anybody at any given point. So, that's. I think he might be a fan of hookup culture, but I could be wrong.
And technically, it's not like he has it like he's in an open relationship. So, and he openly admits to being like panned with like I've heard parts because there was
he wants that queer status. Everyone wants that queer status. All you got to do is have weird sexual fetishes, and you get that queer status. You're no longer a white straight male. Every leftist does it.
And I'll be honest, I think it's Dev that's talked about this more recently than anybody that I've seen. There's something
King of the
about,
Chasers,
like liberal, like not that part, but there's something about that women, especially if they're liberal women, that go with guys like Vaush and they find them utterly attractive. Like,
yes, if you have he's in LA, right? Okay. You think they really care about any superficial things? It's all about power, money. Okay, I totally believe him, but do they want to sleep with him for good reason?
Right?
He's in Washington. I know he grew up in Hollywood,
or maybe
he moved.
I don't know. He's somewhere on the West Coast, but I think he's not where Hassan is.
He was like in LA. His family comes from. He comes from a rich family down there.
Aren't they all? Hassan's a trust fund baby. Who knows about? Oh, Destiny's a working man. Okay, but he's not like those guys. He's not like
But
the
yeah,
other lefties.
I mean, Tacoma wept. You know, it was a sad day when he had to go off of Tinder.
yeah, lame,
never forget.
Alpha male image. I think he tried to pull off the alpha male image. It just doesn't work really well in an open relationship.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
You know,
there's
you
actually
get
the
the
Tacoma
cut
Web we watched.
became
Here's a
rise.
compilation of all the times Vaush talked about horsecock on his Discord. Somebody made this compilation.
Okay, we kind of.
So it's playing Little
Oh,
Nas,
yeah, I
right?
kinda sped this up a little
No, that was
bit,
another
but,
compilation that was going around. I found this one because it was more direct. It didn't have like
He's
memes.
Let me read it
super
to you.
into
What the fuck is wrong with
horses.
horsecock? Horse like it when you slurp their balls. I respect horse fucking go. I'd love to have a horsecock. Horsecocks are pretty hot, to be honest. I'll tell them I'm down to meet up tomorrow, and they'll be like, I can't wait for you to destroy me with that horsecock. And like, fuck, I'm only.
Again,
18,
I
so
almost
you are a
wish this
wild
was a
freak,
code
bro.
word because
You gotta get a life outside. Just
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Tacoma's-
And he literally clarifies that no, this is not a joke and this is not a code word. He really likes horses. Yeah, so this is just a taste of it. I did speed it up just a little bit, but
you should have speeded up faster.
So his messages
warp speed.
So his messages go back to 2016, where he was in Destiny's Discord, and he just would not stop talking about horses. It just keeps going.
Well,
and
didn't you
these are
learn
only the
anything
ones
from
the
Barbie?
DGG.
You need the horses for the patriarchy. Patriarchy is useless.
Fair enough. I mean, he is an alpha, so I could see why he'd want that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. But these are only the ones from the DGG server, as far as I know. He definitely has more horse references in his own
weeping
thing.
right now, bro. Ugh.
This
It's
is not
funny.
the
I wonder if
Irish
that's where
flag.
Apple
Horses
got
Dragon
her
dildos
are not as good as horse
Catboy
dildos.
Ranch
You know that
from,
feeling when you're
or
really why is he having these like
influences from
really
Barbie.
explicit sexual conversations with his fans too? That's kind of disturbing as well.
Absolutely.
I'm getting Sin Jared vibes. You can read this. Obviously, I feel like if I keep reading this, I'm gonna get nuked.
Why?
But it's
Why?
So many. There's so many.
I mean, I just let it.
Well, it just keeps going on, is the thing. But these are like 6 years
Like
ago.
the song
so
that never ends. You know,
keep
just
that in
a
mind.
beautiful,
But
like,
yeah, it hasn't ended.
basement.
Play. You guys can
These are all
take it in.
from 2018.
They all seem to be from 2018, but this was made years ago. Again, this is not a new thing with the horses, which is still blowing my mind.
Every comment you see is about horse cock.
Yeah, they just did a keyword search for horse, not horse.
Oh yeah, they only did the key search of horse.
It's still going, guys.
That's a lot.
We still have a good 10 seconds left. Can I really? But like, I hate that he's talking with his fans about this shit. I don't like that at all, man.
Hashtag politics.
Yeah,
this is
really
what happened
creepy.
about 45
I hope
minutes
they're
ago
not
when you
minors.
talked about it,
Okay.
Let me watch this. Let me watch.
Because the furry community,
Yeah,
oh
one
god.
One would definitely hope that they're not. I think
Do
that's really
you,
weird.
Vincent? Do you or Gray? Do you remember the Discord controversy years ago when they were talking about the before I think Discord at one point got rid of like the Cub Cub servers?
Good.
And
okay, that's like
the,
pedophilia
Don't
and
know about
bestiality
that.
altogether.
Then
It's
they,
like the worst of the both worlds.
they actually got caught.
Okay,
like,
okay. Someone was eating. Okay, let's not get into that subject matter.
I gotta say, if they had servers like that, good. I'm glad those got
basically
nuked
like,
too.
and then the internet, it got out that they tried to talk to these moderators. There was like a really famous moderator that they talked to that had a furry image, and then it got deleted very shortly because there was a huge furry controversy on Discord. They had to clean out a bunch of servers.
Yeah, I'm sure. They're
Yeah,
still dealing with
no.
the weird degenerate furries. So messed up. There's actually a clip from Vaush that I saw that was quite interesting. That sort of aligned with one of my beliefs. You know, you not just furries. You need to have a subset of furries, different furries. But that's a different issue altogether.
No, I'm sorry, no furries whatsoever. None.
Joke a Twitter account named HitlerCunny1488 sourced all the images and said one of them was Lolly. I feel like that's probably the character of the engagement that I'll see. Okay,
I've seen the images, motherfucker. Don't.
Not kidding. Okay, so the images that were in the folder. First of all, I'm the funniest things there by far. To be
Just
clear,
the unsorted ones, by the
images are
way. We don't know what's in the rest of actual save porn. Could also be all horse cocks, though.
Okay. So what would your strategy be? So let's just do a little bit of role playing here. So
Okay,
you're the one who accidentally like leaks this or doxes yourself, whatever you want to call this, makes the biggest, meatiest, girthy mistake that you could make on the
The
internet.
CIA set me up.
What So what do
They're
you
out to get me.
do
If
in
I was
this
Vaush,
case?
at least.
So now
They planted that on
H3H3
me.
is talking about you. You've heard from your fans through your Discord that H3H3 is doing this expose on you. So what do you do? What would your strategy be to
So
explain
I'll
this away?
start Gray. Here's what I would have done.
Okay.
And I think I agree. It's for the PR position. If you get caught with something, the average memory of the internet as it stands is a memory of a goldfish. And you don't stream, you don't say anything. Because what was it like? I've heard of other, I think Dev used an example of a YouTuber who got caught with like interesting stuff or like.
No,
and
you
he-
get friends to deflect for you. That's the the
so,
solution. You're
here's
like,
what you-
I
so-
have a personal bias in this. This is what my friends say. They're all
Actually,
Vaush, though. I don't think he
No,
has enough friends for this strategy.
Now, what I
It's
say
beautiful.
is just don't act like it happens. Because if the internet has a memory of a goldfish, just don't
yes,
say
except for
anything.
when
don't
people are
stream.
going after you all
and
the
then
time.
ban
Okay,
it in
things
your
have
chat.
changed. Okay, I
True.
mean, with some people are thirsty for this stuff. They won't let
Okay.
up. The amount of
the
A-logs.
reason. Okay, here's part of the reason Vaush got caught. He has absolute hate watchers, and there's people like this that exist. They will analyze every section of your video.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you're a lowly YouTuber without much sort of notoriety or clout, in this case, yeah, your strategy will work. But if
Not
you're
if you're
someone like
Vaush.
Vaush or Hassan,
So it sounds like you've got a
there's
different strategy than Vincent. What would your strategy be?
my strategy.
Lucy brings up
is,
go on vacation. Nethril King says run. I think both of those are good ideas.
I mean, I wouldn't shut down
would you
completely. I would just act like, okay, if I would just stream as normal, be like nothing there. I'm like, I would just own it. Like, yeah, it was stupid stuff that I was downloading. Okay, I wouldn't argue against it. I'd be like, if I was dishonest enough, I would be like, okay, I was going to actually make something sort of talking about these people. So I was doing research on it. And then I would probably make a video or something talking about it. I'd be complete. I don't know if that's not what Vaush is doing, but I would just be like, yeah, I'm just researching this stuff. Okay.
So you're gonna do the what is it? Pete Townsend defense or whatever. He was just researching it.
Yeah, you can't prove that I was
know.
enjoying this stuff
He
at all.
he could also have like the moderators ban the word in the chat. Go.
No. People will pick up on that. Okay.
Yeah.
You just super
So,
chatted all the
like-
way and lie through your teeth. That should have been what Vaush did. He's dumb because he.
Well,
we'll get into it.
He decided to
I
stream a
previewed
response
this.
to it, and he decided to, try and explain his way out of it. But he took an interesting strategy where, out of everything in the folder, he's going to really focus on those two pictures from Zelda, and he's just going to keep explaining that. To me, that's
Yes,
an
this is
interesting
called
choice.
cherry
That's
picking.
not exactly where I would have gone.
Shifting the
Yeah,
goalposts,
but
cherry
it's
picking. They're
kinda-
not, and also sort of rambling on about nonsensical details that no one really cares about. Okay.
Yeah, well, he thinks he can talk his way out of this. I think it is a bunch of hubris and arrogance, but yeah,
He's been rewarded for
here's
this in the
his
past.
strategy. True.
We're literally just non-pornographic, like canon images.
Okay, and the others?
They must be the Zelda photos.
Yeah, I must be talking about.
Wait, no, he's saying Raru wasn't porn.
According to him, I don't know what other.
This excuse works. What you're about to see is he tries to spin this. If you didn't see the images, you would just assume, oh.
Yes, he'll work on his stupid audience, okay?
It will
Hassan works on their stupid audience, but you have enough people around talking, slowly that will erode that sort of bubble.
By the way, friend
away.
of the show, by the way, a friend of the show and a friend of our community, Dane, bought this excuse.
Yeah, I can
Let's
see
not
that.
bring up that name.
Not doing. Seems like it's up his alley. Yeah, moving on.
because everything else was very
So,
epic.
maybe he's going to do the argument where, oh, these characters are actually 1,000 years old. That's not weird.
Let's see. I don't know where he's. How is he going to defend this?
From Tears of the Kingdom, like just
Okay, it was
standing
King
there.
Raru.
So that was funny. that.
Dude, it was like 2 of like 20 images, bro. The fact that you're.
It wasn't even the porn of him. It was just him standing there.
Which he's still odd. Why are you downloading pictures of King Raru?
So I cut out a bunch of it, but he was just talking about him.
You go from horse porn to King Raru.
Well, again, let's remember that folder was the to be organized.
That's what I'm saying. He did.
So it just seemed like it was kind of a grab bag.
Well, if they're organized by date downloaded, which is a common way to organize,
right,
then these would be temporarily related.
Perhaps, yeah. That's okay. That's a good point.
You know, we need to know how this document was organized.
Or is it categorized by most used?
He's up in King Raru 1,000 times.
That's his go-to, man. That's his closer.
That could explain why he has King Raru just so available and why he really wants to talk about him. But I don't know. It's an interesting strategy.
He always have a King Raru
I think that's the point.
to be the goat to defend yourself in there. Maybe he thought this might have
I
happened.
think that's really the point. It's kind of the look over here strategy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure he'll address it all. So I don't think I set this up quite properly. He did direct message into H3H3 and asked to be on. And then when they didn't let him on, he just started his own stream to explain it. So this is kind of going on at the same time. So they were able to get a clip of it from a fan, and then they're reacting to that. So this is almost real time reacting
Didn't
from
Mr.
them.
Medicare also talk about this recently too? Like,
Yeah, who knows? I'm
do
just
not
glad
know.
he's not dead.
Sadly, I
okay?
haven't kind of
he brought it up on Twitter, and like the same, like he heard about it, and he like.
Why are you trying to
People
distract
have
us,
been
Tiamat? Are you
bringing this
deflecting
up
from
for a
Vaush? Are
long
you
time,
trying
man.
to protect Vaush, Tiamat, by bringing up all these
There's a
other
reason why he
people?
has so many compilations about him and people's speculation on him.
And this was-
I would not doubt that Medicare has covered that as
No,
well.
this was
especially
this week.
recently.
This was this week.
I would bet he did. Then he is the internet historian or aristocrat, and I'm sure part of that is you need to tell the history of part of these influential figures. So I could see him covering it for sure. But let's let Vaush keep talking about
Beautiful, so that fits. And then, again, embarrassing with the AI. I know next time this happens, I'll make sure that it's like real drawings of horse dick and not AI comments. I apologize.
Bro, I saw that.
It's a deflection. Comedy. I can definitely see that was a joke there. Good on him. He's still keeping his light spirits in this trying time for him.
Shit.
Good for him.
But should comedy?
So is he meaning?
Should comedy be used for such evil purposes?
This isn't even.
It's a coping mechanism, man. I think it's okay to use some dark humor and
This is what
make the
happens when
joke
you get
that
caught in
everyone's
the-
just upset it's not real. Yeah, kind of. But you can make a joke about it. Good times.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
I don't mind.
Does he just
comedy?
Does he just spin it out? It's all a joke. I've seen this done before.
For sure.
Make it like all the criticisms just a joke.
Yeah, it's all just a joke, man.
That like his community is more upset about the fact that it was AI art than the fact that it was.
I guess. Was it
content
looked
art?
like AI art to me? I don't know. But who cares?
I don't know.
You went to an image generator and said, you said, what did you type to get that? You have to type something like young girl to get that.
He's got a good point. If this is AI art,
But is it Vaush's
had to put
AI
some sort
art,
of
or
prompt.
did he get it from other
Fair
people? We don't know. Okay, I'm gonna
Fair
try to
enough.
be
He
good
is
faith,
good at
even if
collecting
I
it.
think Vaush would never give any good faith to anyone ever.
fair enough. We do know for certain that he collected it. We don't know that he generated it, but fair enough.
That image, I feel like.
I assume they were pornographic. No. Those were like Nintendo produced canon images of Raru. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
like, they were
the
just,
pornographic thing comes up, and he's like, "No, cut it off." So he's watching the chat.
Those were just
He's probably
Nintendo images.
pointing
I
out
saved
some
Nintendo
disinformation.
images.
I can't have disinformation in my chat. Sorry, I didn't want to run over.
Of course not.
Yeah, okay.
No,
what
it's
about
all
this
good.
thing? Oh.
This is so funny.
It's wrong.
There's 2 images, and then that's not pornographic, and maybe he saved them just unrelated. And then there's 20 completely raw dog, naked fucking porn, where cartoon, mind you,
right?
Still of like young girls.
What he says, and failed attempts to engagement just make me look defensive. I really doubt that's a viable avenue of engagement. I reach out if I could. People really, really do hate me. I don't fall for covering drama, but doing this gigantic, generic smear piece without reaching out, bro, or talking beforehand. I'm not even on Twitter and barely talk to you at all, man. Yo, bro, I gotta talk to you about this horse porn shit, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, another
I don't have that
strategy of
nature. I don't have that
Vaush.
relationship with you. How many times have we talked? He says it feels at least a little shitty.
And
of him.
Ethan's
he's not that
heading
bad,
it
so I
off.
understand that. It would make him feel shitty. I've generally been pretty fair,
Yeah.
Ethan. That's okay, man. Like again,
I mean,
not.
What did he say to Destiny?
What? I
Like
just confirmed
he
this.
tried to claim when Destiny kicked him off the server, he's like, but this person and other people are trying to cancel me, so they use this.
Vaush did the same thing with Anna. We have a more recent example. Okay, Anna of the Young Turks. Okay, he went after her and had this whole thing. Oh, how dare she go against me? We were so friendly terms. Why you're completely trying to rewrite history like you didn't just criticize her for the freaking woman's joke, okay?
And
she
you're like,
deserved
well,
that
they're
though,
just
because
out
women
to get
should shut
me.
up.
They're
Yeah,
out
that's
to
the
get me.
J.K. Rowling thing, but that's besides the point. Technical
Yeah.
misogyny.
My illustration's first appearance on the
My
history.
illustrious.
If you want, wait, was he on before?
No.
No,
Saying this is my illustrious first appearance.
But Vaush, I said I'll talk to you. Should I let him call in now?
No, we got to go.
No,
We're already
it's almost 5.
DM the podcast Instagram, and we
So they
will-
did wait
Okay.
till like the end of the stream to do this Vaush section, and then it goes on for like an hour and a half. So it was at like the 3-hour mark, and they usually don't go over that. So it's not like they just didn't want to talk to him, but apparently he doesn't think that it's fair that he wouldn't be able to speak about this the same day, that it's poisoning the well too much.
Basically, it's
Which
No.
I could understand,
No one
but-
can have put out information about me without me having to say.
Yeah,
classic
without me having the
strategy.
last word.
Let me get in front of your audience and make my case. There's two good things I'm
For sure.
good at: getting laid and speaking. Okay,
You're
and
talking
as much
optics
as people
control.
respect Ethan, not exactly his forte. Didn't we bring up the sort of trick he did on Steven Crowder, pulling in Sam Cedar for that?
So we definitely brought it up, but we didn't like explain it or anything. But yeah, Ethan has done some sort of underhanded things, but I don't see not getting Vaush's
I can understand the
response
joke behind
on
that at
this thing.
least. I can see the joke
Yeah.
intent behind it. I think it was poorly executed. There was
I
Ethan
think
had
so
a
too,
whole
and it
string
seems
of
stupid.
really bad jokes. Like, let me not even go into them because they were really horrible.
It's not like Ethan is known for debating, so I could
Yeah.
see him wanting to bring in a ringer, and that was kind of what people thought was going to happen anyway. I don't think anyone expected that bait and switch, but I don't know.
I didn't
I don't
like
know.
how they
Vaush
played it up as a
never
victory,
fails
but I
to-
could respect it as a joke, not them
Yeah.
using it as some sort of own. I didn't like, but as a joke, perfectly fine. He should have been like, yeah, Steven Crowder.
Yeah,
I didn't want to deal with
I just
him.
think it's a little
He wanted to
different
debate me.
because
Yeah.
I don't know. Vaush's point on this seems to be that because they didn't let him on to speak about it initially or talk to him beforehand, somehow they are bad faith and they did him dirty. I don't know who does Vaush reach out to before he does like a story or before he
Okay.
does any sort of
This is
coverage
YouTube,
on,
right?
Or
I
call
don't
all
think it's a two-way
Republicans
street.
fascists. Again,
Yeah.
the Doomer
Does he
video is a
talk to
great
each one of them?
example.
Yeah.
I can give you a good example of this. Like, I'm guessing that Vaush thinks he does the YouTuber code. Like, where he deserves he deserves the YouTuber code. Like,
No. He doesn't think this. He's just going to do whatever he can
let me
to
just
get
say,
away with whatever
this
he
is the
can.
best way I can put it.
He's a
because there's-
con artist, okay? He
Now, let me
likes
say
being
this.
a con artist.
Before you just hear me out. He believes, like, okay. Has
He wants
anyone-
to act like he has some sort of code. I can get behind that. Okay,
Let me say,
go on.
there's this thing like CoffeeZilla, like when he does an investigation or something, or he'll go to a lot of YouTubers or go to people and ask to use information. I've seen this in before Mutahar, like some ordinary gamer publishes the video. He may let another content creator know the person, like, oh, I'm going to talk about something. And I'm guessing Vaush was like, oh, H3 is going to talk about this, and I should be told. But he's also wanted to get on immediately as well, because the thing about optics control, you got to get out on top of it immediately.
Oh yeah, exactly. Doomer was pointing
tried
out
to,
something
but he was
about
in
the
the middle of a
YMS
haircut.
thing where Mahler showed up at the end of the Stitch and Adam. He made a very convincing case for that. But yeah, let me not bring that up. You know, you need to establish the
but
narrative as
Vaush
quickly
might
as
have
possible.
tried to reach out sooner. He happened to be getting a haircut at the time, so you know it was a little tough. But yeah, let's let them keep going on a little bit further. I think this, if I remember right, Vaush was just saying that you know, they should have they were going through Vaush's DMs to him, where he was saying this is just so great that they did this to him and didn't reach out
We'll
to him
talk. I mean, I'll give you the chance to defend yourself, but you should know
Ethan
that.
did say in the beginning that he watches your content.
And I like his content. I
Yeah.
thought he was a talented content creator.
Mhm.
But you know, Michael Jackson was a talented singer. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
He had some
I mean,
good zingers
I
in
was
there.
about
I got to
to
be
say
honest.
L
This
take from Ethan, but he made it up with that punchline.
Yeah, so I didn't want to take all of his punchlines and everything, but damn, it was a good episode. If you do care for Ethan, he was in top form in this one. But the next day, Vaush decided, or maybe it was 2 days later, within the next couple days, Vaush decided to do a response stream specifically to this H3H3 podcast, which or no, excuse me. I believe this is right as he got back from his haircut.
So mind Ethan covering drama or even not being like aware of everything that I've said, but the degree of bad faith there was like past the point of it being perceptibly mendable, I feel, which I don't know. They
you made a problem with this. You need to have a disclaimer. He did not watch the show at
So he's
all.
about to say that right here. So
You
his
just
first
need to
statement,
pop
and
it
then I
up
cut out a
every
few of
time.
them.
Sorry, it's just
Fair
a little
enough.
critique for your editing. He did not watch.
I believe he's about to say it right here
Okay.
that this
No,
is
I
the
like the
epitome of
voice in the
bad
well.
faith. No, I haven't watched it. So
He
I was
actually
trying to
looks
make a
mad
fun
in
edit
this, if you
between
want
the
to
two.
look.
Oh, he is. You don't
Now,
understand. He was
see-
at his haircut when this all went
Now,
down.
see-
So then he had
That's
to.
just his haircut.
Now, here's the thing, like what, see, Dev and them talked about, I think Chud Logic, when they were talking about this, it's like, yeah, you might have a blow up in like 24 hours. I was like, because in my feed, when this first popped up, I go, this is going to be the worst 24 hours for Vaush and anyone supports Vaush ever.
For a while.
And I'm like, well, if Vaush is smart, he'll lay low for like 2 or 3 days, not say crap, and just
No, he can talk his way out of
just-
anything, man.
it will
He's
blow
doing
over.
the classic.
Just don't address
Yeah,
it.
What I've been calling the
If
Hunter
he
Avalon.
does ever get taken in for a crime,
Argue
I
everything.
want to see the interrogation tape.
Oh, except for
He is gonna
Vaush is
talk
in
his
his
way out of any crime.
defense arc. He
You
doesn't really
forgot
debate
Vaush,
anyone of
you
any
forgot
value
the
right now.
famous Vaush arc. He converted Hunter Avalon to being a liberal.
Yeah, this is why
Yeah,
Hunter
what a
Avalon
great
has to
victory that
debate everything. Okay, same sort of insanity there. Chip off the old
Well,
Vaush.
let's let him get back to his explanation. But you're right,
Do we have to?
Vincent. He
Okay,
is
let's
about
be
to point
fair.
out that after calling them extremely bad faith, he's about to point out that he hasn't seen it.
Did. As though the whole horse thing was some kind of like secret that I'm trying to play off as a joke. Like they were like, we found out like he really does like horse dicks or whatever, which to construct that impression, you would need to be
No, that's the memes
willfully
impression that's out
dishonest.
there on the internet. They didn't construct it; it's there. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah. There's compilations. You know, it's a well-known thing. I don't think anyone thinks that it's just a joke. I think they think that it's literally funny. But I think we all think he's, you know, honest about this. But
They look disgusted
doesn't
about
stop me from
the
chuckling.
lolly stuff more. Okay, personally.
yeah, no, that is disgusting. But the horse thing,
And
I always
Vaush
thought that
is
was kind
gonna
of funny,
bring
but
up
I
the
assumed he
lolly
was
stuff.
honest about it.
Oh,
Mm.
I have emotes making fun of it. Like that is a level of willful dishonesty that I think it's stuff like that, you know, because it means there's no real sincere effort at I don't know, engaging with or uncovering any kind of drama. It's just an effort at like character assassination. Are you going to watch it on stream? No, it's literally a joke.
No, and I haven't, and I won't. So you're right. There was actually another clip. I thought I had included it, but you're right. That was bad editing on my part, where he mentions that he will not watch this. He has not, and he will not. Not just on stream, but also in his personal life. He refuses to watch this, but he knows that they were bad faith. I mean, He just has a feeling.
Look, man, the horse thing is not a joke. This is we can't let this be smeared, okay? If to whatever extent, you know, people can say, oh, we place it off as this or that, okay? I'll make it clear. You can write this down. I want to fuck a woman as a horse. None of this is a secret. To be clear, you know, many jokes have been made about this, but I stand by it. My moral principles are rock solid. My feet are firmly planted in the ground. I've got my boots up. They're planted firmly. You cannot move me from my position. This is.
So he has assumed the position. His boots are planted, and he is firm on this. He likes horses. You know, it's an interesting point that he has made, but yeah, I never thought that part was a joke. I just think it's funny that he likes horses.
This is the clip that was making it on everywhere, even Turkey Tom and okay, Keemstar was making fun of the goblin excuse that you'll probably see later, but this was the clip, the horse, like him wanting to be the horse. That every time I saw it, it was like coming back through my feed and being retweeted. I'm like, oh god. Yeah.
So I believe this is your infamous Stallion energy quote. If we let it keep going for just a moment, but it gets a little worse. Yeah, let's let Vaush keep cooking on this.
In a secret. Let's talk to a therapist. Well, why do you want to be the horse, Vaush? Because then I'd have a giant dick. Okay, couldn't you have a big dick the other way? Well, yeah, I could. Like, yeah, I could have a big dick hypothetically in any variety of scenarios, but then it wouldn't really be a horse dick. Well, you could be a human with a horse dick, yes, but then I wouldn't have that powerful stallion energy using it. There
Question: as a comedian, do you think this is an attempt at a comedic sort of scenario here? Or
I don't think so. I think this is honest, and I think, you know, he's in the middle of this. He is actually trying to give some explanation.
Okay, genuine psychosis. Okay, got it. Okay, I just want to get your expertise.
It could be. I think he's in the middle of this, though. Like this, you know, situation, this bomb that exploded in his face.
You know, there is a good reason.
And I think he's trying to find an
some of these
angle for
examples that he's probably worked out. Because this looks like
he's gonna
really bad
play
improv.
the horse thing.
Really bad.
Like he
improv.
mentioned, a lot of the emotes in his chat have the Vaush face and horse legs. He really plays this up, but yeah, I mean, obviously he's adding his own flair to it. That you know, kind of over the top
I love the
pompousness that he adds
strategy.
to it.
YouTubers, they get an insult thrown at them that gets thrown at them. They just turn it into a meme, okay? No longer hurts them now that it's a joke within the community. I've seen it done so many times. It's a little bit interesting. That's all I'll say.
It's sus. Yeah,
It's like a
sus for
shield.
sure.
Comedy shield.
But let's let him keep going, because I'm sure he's going to address the other images in the folder.
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything.
sorry. I just wanted to get your impression if this was a joke or a mental breakdown or bad improv.
I find it funny, but I think he's serious. You know, he has serious Stallion energy.
Okay.
Speak your truth, Force. Spit that
enough.
shit. You know, people, people trying to make a thing out of that, like they say you downloaded Lolicon. Deliberately disingenuous framing. I'll explain the whole thing. For those who don't know, 4 days ago, I was doing what I do.
He didn't
which
watch
is
shit.
showing
He's
chat
in his chat to
men's
feed him
formal
the
wear.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as he does, he was showing his chat men's formal wear. I don't know. So
Using his
this
chat
is
as
his
a
take
shield.
on everything that happened. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know, it's his chat's fault. You know, they shouldn't have made him look up the elegant menswear.
And talking at them about it for hours on end. And I was going to open up an image with right-click, open a new window, but instead I did right-click, save as. And it opened a
it was a
folder
mistake.
called To Be Sorted.
Forgive
the
him.
To Be Sorted folder, which is where I put images that have yet to be sorted. And
Like, none of this shit matters, okay?
I mean, I would kind of like to know what folder he's sorting this horse stuff into, but you're right,
think
it doesn't
the actual,
matter. But
artwork that's being discussed about him is a little bit more important to address, but, you know, just draw it out. Like,
no,
it's just
let's talk about Hey, look, maybe you don't understand what the to be sorted folder is for, okay? Let me start at the beginning. Yeah, no, I think it's very
Okay, what
hilarious,
about
and it
the
is a
better
strategy on his point.
what about the code for all of the computer? Maybe he could have started with that a
What do
little
you,
bit, you know, go into the invention of the
Vincent
computer.
doesn't have a folder that he keeps stuff in called taxes or lab reports.
No,
Well,
my
he's gotta
taxes
sort
actually
through the
have
taxes.
triple X on it. That actually where I keep my porn and all my tax stuff is in my porn folder. Okay, that's how I roll.
That makes sense. It is your main source of income. That makes sense.
The place that it went to, because the file
Misinformation.
type of the image, which was like, I don't know, JPEG or something. I don't know. The last image that I saved to the to be sorted folder was an image of Marcel from Dungeon Meshi being roasted by Gordon Ramsay while cooking a mandrake. Good anime, guys, and a good manga. Anyway, I saved that.
I actually haven't heard of this one. I might actually watch it now on
Yeah,
Netflix.
I know nothing about that, and I have no idea why you'd want to save a picture of her being yelled at by Gordon Ramsay. But okay, I got to be honest. I thought maybe there was something else going on when he said roasted by Ramsay. But fair enough. This
It's
does
a
seem
Twitter
quite
pic,
innocent,
okay?
and except for the mandrake, poor mandrake.
Well, it's
Rest in
it's from
power.
a fantasy, okay?
And it opened up the folder preview, which showed thumbnails of images that I had in there. A lot of which were pornographic, most of which, though there were some non-pornographic images, including Reagan Ripley from Inside Job standing around in a bikini, I think. I don't know. And non-pornographic canon images of Raru.
So again, his strategy of explaining the lolly is talking about everything other than the lolly. It is a strategy. He thinks he can talk his way out of anything. Fair
From
enough.
The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
He's narrowing
which is
it
funny
down,
because
okay?
there are far more pornographic images of Raru in there than there are non-pornographic images. But honestly, Raru just looks so good that even non-pornographic images feel pornographic.
It's really the
to me.
raw,
Yeah, and innately
okay? Maybe he got a mega
character design.
file
Anyway,
with all
of
these,
the images that
and he had to get the lolly and horse dick pics to get the raw roux.
Maybe
that's
he's going
obviously
to
the
combine
case.
them. I don't know. He might be trying his hand at, his own art generation.
Oh, maybe he's going to turn
I'm not
raw roux
sure.
into a lolly. That might be interesting to see. Ugh,
He did
sorry.
seem to
I
think he
said
was
that as a
rather
joke, but
attractive,
that was
according to his-
disturbing. Even as a joke, that was
It's hard to
disturbing.
tell what's jokes or not. But yeah, now I'm sure he's going to get to the lolly. So again, I had to cut a whole bunch of this out because he prefaced this all with, let me talk about the lolly. And then he's gone on for quite a while before addressing it. I believe this is the first time he actually
showed
addresses it.
2 of them were from the same artist. 2 of them, those from that artist turned out to be a lolicon.
Oh,
one of the 2 images.
Oh no.
Who could have known? Like, from looking at the images, there is zero way anybody could have possibly known. But wow, this is just a huge revelation to hear that it's this artist's fault.
So
yeah,
I don't think we're going to get into it, but so
he's not
in it-
directly saying it. Just to be
in his
clear, we don't want to
old,
be disingenuous.
So in
But
his
there is a
old-
certain
He kind of addresses it.
it's sort of dodging of accountability. All this is
So-
like, I think one of the first times we actually communicated, you said something, the laundry list fallacy, and I'm like, it feels more like gish galloping. Have we ever decided if this sort of argumentative style where you just spew shit out is more of a laundry list fallacy or gish galloping?
It depends. Like, they are kind of related. I think his
Yeah,
particular
they are
one
very
here-
similar. One comes from Scott Adams. One might be improperly
Sadly.
applied to this type of thing. So,
Yeah.
I'm
but
still not.
it does seem
sure.
to. So his would be a little bit more of a laundry list one. The way that Scott Adams, I keep wanting to call him Douglas Adams. The way that Scott Adams
How's
explained
Douglas
it
Alice?
is you have a bunch
Adams
of
is base.
you have a bunch of
galaxy, man.
non-convincing arguments. You throw all of them together. Somehow this makes a actual list, and that somehow gives this a good, strong argument. It really doesn't seem like it is, but hey, now he's going to actually get to talking
the
about this,
illusion
and it's
of a
all
good
the
argument.
artist's fault, for sure.
And
And I think
remember-
that is definitely one of his styles.
Because you didn't put the graphic in, he hasn't watched Ethan's coverage. Just wanted to reiterate that.
It's true.
So I want to make the
Yes.
thing of there's the damning clip that or something, and there's a whole Reddit thread dedicated to stuff that has archived his activities over the years. He had a deleted like Twitter account or something that he had, and he went through and they looked through his likes, and they were like Sailor Moon, Chibi Moon, and a whole bunch
hate
of other.
He's just looking at Sailor
like
Moon.
stuff. Okay,
I
I
could
really hate
understand,
this
but
Twitter
Chibi-
like crap.
Ugh.
I really hate this like
Yeah.
button. Okay, sorry, sorry.
He was, and
I think I saw that.
I'm not going to
video.
give him
I
a
think it's
break or anything like that, but I've definitely liked stuff so that I could keep a track of it before. I didn't know exactly like how to do that when I first got on Twitter. So this is years ago. I don't know. I don't want to be too
I don't think
charitable
they had
to him or
bookmarking
anything like
years
that.
ago. So,
But I don't know that liking necessarily means anything. I like Sailor Moon.
some
so I
people
could understand
literally
liking some
put
pictures, but-
like does not equal endorsement. Some people have to put that in their bio. Okay, we live in an insane world. Okay,
I'm just saying, and there's where there's smoke, there's fire. And
Sometimes there could be fire.
There was.
and there's other stupid stuff like
he went
I'm trying to
through-
get clout from this artist or blah
Okay,
blah
he went
blah
through
because
some artists
your
who
likes are
grew
visible.
stuff.
Oh look, Vaush liked my video, liked my artwork. They didn't even look at it. They just saw like the artwork from this artist or this creator. Okay, just bring it out there.
Well, speaking of artists or creators, Vaush is again going to explain all of this, so you understand it's the artist's fault.
As far now, unfortunately, talking about this is always like a double-edged sword because I can't show to defend myself, nor would I encourage you to go look it up because this is a lolicon artist, so I don't like
No, it's just fit for downloading, not fit for other
want
people
to
to look at. or
direct you to that, you know. But one of
Yeah,
them, one of the two
lolicon
images
artist,
from this
worse than
lolicon
a
artist,
child
okay, to be
porno graphic art filmmaker, I guess. Okay, that was disingenuous of me. Sorry. He renounced that.
No,
I'm sure
it's
he
all
was
good.
totally honest with his renouncement of that.
He's known for his honesty.
Yeah, completely.
be clear.
If he's
one of
anything,
them
he is
flatly did not look like lolicon. I'm sorry, you can say it's defensive. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, I think you guys have seen the thing too. Like, sorry, it all looked like Lolly to me. I don't think he has a defensive. One of them didn't look like it, but I'm not well versed in it. I just know it turned my stomach in a very horrible
but
way.
I did see something. Someone's covering this Plague Moth stuff, where Plague Moth tries to claim this one weird thing that looked more like a goblin sort of self-insert character. That looked more like a goblin than this stuff Vaush is talking about. That's more believable as a sort of mythical creature. Those girls, well, I provided you a clip that you can play at your convenience to see how he views law.
Yeah. Well, let's let him explain this artist. So one of them, you know, he was totally fooled on, but
he was tricked. It wasn't
Look,
his
the
fault.
chick is like 6 heads tall. She literally like it's like apparently the reason
She could
why
be
people
Lolly.
have
She was
said
6
that
heads tall.
is because it's a drawing of a VTuber. And the VTuber is usually drawn as a lolly. But in that case, that's blaming me for a drawing that's not the drawing that was in
And
there.
you can't do that.
I completely reject that line of
Any
logic. It just looked
accountability
like
of my own actions.
yeah, he's rejecting that because, you know, this isn't the one that's obviously Lolly. This is actually the more grown-up one where she's 16 canonically. I don't know that this is much of a defense, but that is what he attempted on this. Okay, let's let him keep digging. Any second now, it should play.
normal drawing. Stuff like this is impossible to clarify because even talking about it comes across as like crazy defensive or whatever, right? But what else am I supposed to do? Let people like Ethan Klein lie and say that it was all like a folder full of lolicon, or just explain it, you know? Anyway.
Again, as Vincent pointed out, he has not watched it, so he just assumes that he's lying and saying that it was a folder completely full of lolicon. But
So he didn't
you
get
know,
that
it
from
looked
chat,
pretty
though,
damn
this
full to
time?
me. I believe he did. He is getting that from his chat, so he says, or from his Discord, but he will not watch it himself. But
Oh, no, it's probably
keep in
a
mind,
secret,
there were those
private
two pictures
secret.
of Raru, and there were his taxes in there, so it's not all Lolly. I mean, we don't know what's in those XXX folders, but the taxes and the Raru.
Wait, one of the two images just flatly didn't look like Lolly. I don't give a shit. Like Cope, Diamond, I just don't care.
No, she
like
looks
disingenuous
16.
shit, you know? The other one is like a threesome with 2 chicks and a guy. And in retrospect, looking at it, knowing now that that artist is a lolicon, yeah, I can see it. When I
Oh, now he can see it. But, it was impossible to tell before. Nobody could have seen that. But, once those breadcrumbs did lead back to what that artist is into, now he can see it. Okay.
Yeah, remember, Vaush is so good at research. And didn't Tiamat say that earlier?
Yeah,
Despite
and
the
I
fact
believe he
that
said that too. Tacoma wept, do your research.
Yeah, I even know Rose Riss, who sort of got roasted, did a lot of research for him back in the past, when he was much better. And actually not
That
in
is-
his Fortress arc now. But that totally unrelated. That's not saying anything about Vaush's research ability.
No, you're right. Nobody could have known. But in retrospect, now he can see it.
looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way like
the
goblins
classic
get
short
drawn in
stack
porn.
thick.
You'll have to entertain me for a moment on this presumed shared
Yeah, you're
knowledge
gonna have to
of how
entertain
goblins.
him. Okay, let's go with this hypothetical, guys. Okay,
You're gonna have to
you can
trust
see
him
this, right?
on his goblin porn.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you got to defer to the expert in this situation, so follow him on his goblin porn journey. This is short
Just-
stack thicky. I can't remember exactly what he called it, but
He can't bring up the
yeah,
photos, but
yeah.
he'll paint a picture for words, and you'll just have to take his word because you don't want to actually.
Well, he's good
consume
at two
lolicon.
things. He's good at talking and non-monogamy. So this is the other thing he's good at. So let him cook.
I like to say the F word for that, but let me not
Get
sully your
drawn in
stream.
pornography. But you know how they're all like thick short stacks, right? That was the vibe that I got because in the image, the girl that's shown has super thick legs and has like tits and a belly. So that's just the vibe I got. But now knowing that the artist is a lolicon, which I have been roundly reminded
hindsight.
of. Obviously,
He was tricked,
knowing
okay?
that it
The
was
lolicon
gonna be a
artist
lolly.
did not draw a
For those of
lolly
you who
in
don't know,
tricked him.
One artist was,
was tricked.
featured more
It's the
than
artist.
others in the porn thumbnails that showed up in my folder, called Ludpoi, who is a very talented artist. And when they were made aware of the fact that the whole leak happened or whatever, they reposted the images. Here, I'm going to link it in chat because I can do that. I'm allowed to. Hold on.
Are we going to get a disingenuous out of
privilege.
context, something like here?
There we go.
Yeah, I mean,
They
there
reposted
he
the
is,
images,
posting the images in his chat.
or at least some of them that they made that showed up in the thumbnails, which was
Just some of
incredibly fucking funny.
Okay, funny.
It's really funny.
You,
Everyone's
Vaush.
laughing.
Ew, what the fuck is you? This is gorgeous art. I don't know, Vaush. Blatant bestiality isn't really something.
You see, he's just a fan of art. You know.
Art connoisseur.
Yeah. Let me go back just a
Most
couple of
people are okay
seconds.
with, regardless of why you like it. Hey, first of all, drawn, not even drawn, AI generated. Didn't even show the good horse cock when I saved.
So yeah, he has the good ones filed away, but the AI ones, they're in the sort for later. They'll go in the passable folder, but it's not the good ones. He's got the good in the correct folder already. Yeah. So he tries to play off some of this and talk his way out of it, but I still don't hear an explanation for why he has,
Look,
lolly images.
He should have shoved this in the deepest possible closet.
As I said, I just would have lied through my teeth and say, yeah, this was for a research thing that I was doing. Those darn anime people,
Okay, Townsend.
I was actually going to
I
do
just
a
remember when the
Barbie
dude from The Who
anime
did that.
hybrid thing, try to combine the two ideas, the whole theory about the patriarchy with anime.
I was trying to figure out how AI art works. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
That's
investigation.
actually-
I don't
I would
know.
get
I
you,
think I
Gray,
would have
if
just
I
kept
ever
my
get
mouth
into
shut.
See, I don't think
I
he
don't
could
know,
have.
man.
I think you would.
Yeah,
realize
I
your
don't
teeth
think
and
he
make-
would.
For this. There
I
is
would have
nothing.
taken some time to come up with a plausible excuse.
No.
It would have been
Yeah.
hilarious.
I would like. So I'm not saying I want to see him like arrested for this or anything like that, but I really want to see the interrogation footage if he does ever get taken in for a crime. I got a feeling he's going to talk his way out of it. He will not stay quiet. I think he thinks he can talk his way out of any situation. It's really
You have a right to
as
remain
Natural King
silent.
points out,
You would like that, wouldn't you, pig?
it is painful. But yeah, let's let him keep going. Any second now, it should play. Yeah, really delayed.
Damaged the thing, I swear.
And
to be honest, I guess I don't care about what other people have to say about the whole I think it'd be hot to fuck a chick as a horse thing. It sounds weird to say out loud. To me, in my mind, it's just like, yeah, obviously, you're a horse. Like, rad, you're a horse, dude. I don't really care what other people's assessment of that is, to be honest. It doesn't
Yeah,
really
he's a horse,
mean anything to me.
okay?
You know, rad, you're a horse,
Of
dude.
course, the past few days have been in a bad mood because all this bullshit because of a to be sorted folder. Honestly,
No,
most
it's
of the
nothing.
frustration has been with
Stop
myself,
it a
though.
second.
At least until
I want you to notice his, like, I will say, body language. Like, if he was super confident in what he's doing, like, if you look at the prior clip, like, he's focused, he can't even stay focused at the camera. Like, he's trying to be shifty. And
I
like,
think you're
the
reading
wor-
too far into the
the
body
worst
language.
part about this
Tiamat,
is
okay.
all the body language is like, you can tell, like, he's trying to cook this up as he goes along. Or he had it in
Yeah,
his mind, and it's
I don't
like,
think you need the body language for it. Just those words that he's stumbling out and
body language does it a lot worse.
For sure.
And you can tell there's
It adds
shame,
some of it,
too.
too.
Like, there's actually
No,
some
I don't want to look at his
shame.
body, okay? You guys look at his sexy
No,
body.
Don't body
No,
shame
what
him.
I'm saying
Listen to
is,
his
if you
words.
look at his eyes, like there is, like, you can tell, like, signs of shame or, like, embarrassment.
Huh?
Yes, there
I
should be.
sorry, I don't get that at all. He's
have to-
teaching shame or embarrassment out of him. But I'm really not looking too deeply at him.
There are a couple things that I cut out. At one point, he did mention his autism and
You took
whatever.
him out
it
of
wasn't
context?
I removed that. I didn't see it as like a viable excuse, and he didn't go too far with that. He abandoned it after a while. But yeah, I do feel like he was kind of grasping at straws and went with a bunch of different explanations, but I don't hear any that involve like why he has Lolly downloaded. But you know, what can you do? But yeah, I think he's just got a little bit left
Pinning
in
this
his
to Ethan
explanation.
Klein. Nobody made him do this or act this way. That's on him.
Oh,
I can understand.
Ethan's fault.
So anyway,
It's all
people were
Ethan.
talking about the factors that make the age of consent necessary, which are, by the way, if you're young, it's easy to take advantage of you. Simple as, right?
Seems like he gets it there, but you look through his download folder, it's kind of questionable whether he really does get that. But this is the correction. So the statement
Hey,
that
they're AI
Ethan
art.
read
They
out
have
earlier,
no consciousness.
they're ageless. You know, they're
Yeah.
actually 90, really. You know, perhaps he's going to use that excuse, but this is where he's explaining how he did change one position that he had in the past. So here's him in his own words explaining that the one position that Ethan read out, he no longer holds, but everything else he still does.
And I said,
yeah.
and this is a position that I now disagree with, by the way, but I said that under socialism, because economic inequities would be rectified, I imagine that you could argue the age of consent being 16 or something like that, because
keeps
you
focusing
no
on
longer
16.
have the innate economic disparity between adults and kids. This is, by the way, the age of consent in the UK. So basically what I was saying was, in the future, the indeterminate future, hundreds
Okay,
or
pause,
thousands or whatever years from now,
pause. This is just so freaking stupid. The economy has
Yes,
nothing
this
to do
is
with
his
the psychology.
bad argument that he no longer agrees with, though.
Yes, but why
I got
is
you,
he
and he's saying
correct
that he no longer agrees with this.
Why does
so
he no
do
longer
keep that
agree?
in mind. This was
Does he go into why
kind
he
of goes
doesn't agree?
into it, but he doesn't necessarily say why. He just says, again, this is a position I no longer hold.
Maybe
So
it was an
you're right,
optical
and
choice
he has evolved.
because he just
Well,
evolved.
he does say that he wants to
instantly,
bump
no
the age
reasoning.
up now.
Oh yeah.
Well,
of
he's
course.
saying that we now mature. I'll let him say it in his own words, but he is saying that we now
Hey,
mature
you're too
slower,
nice.
so it should
Too
actually
Canadian,
be up.
Gray. Too Canadian.
Sorry.
I mean, there's an
when we have
overall-
socialism,
Sorry about
we
that.
might be able to live as the degenerate British do. Now, I disagree with this now. I no longer think that economic disparities are a primary factor in that, the degree to which young people
Not
can be
primary.
exploited by older people. I think that it's much more socially weighted. And I think that's evidenced in large part by the fact that people are maturing, later than they used to. So nowadays, I feel like the age of consent should be increased and have some like Romeo and Juliet laws to cover the difference. But are you worried this could be?
So, if he now thinks that they should be increased, how come he downloaded pictures of a 16-year-old canonically as that VTuber, and then there were much younger ones? But does that match with his download folder or his to
Well,
be
they're just
sorted
fiction,
folder, if you
okay?
will?
They're just fictional,
Oh, fair
okay?
enough. So yeah, fictional ages. Okay. But yeah, I thought this was a fitting clip to end with. I don't know if he meant to say it exactly like this, but yeah, it has a certain ring to me. Let's see if it hits you guys the same way. I hope it does. Any
Career ending or
second
the
now,
end
the
of your
final clip will
credibility
be there.
among leftists? No, and there wasn't any credibility among leftists. I already had like no allies in this space. No and inapplicable, I'd say.
So maybe that doesn't ring to him the same way that rings to me. But when he says, no, this won't affect his credibility, he had none. I agree with that. He doesn't have credibility, but apparently he's putting credibility on having allies on his side. I don't know. That seems like a weird way to kind of put those two things together, to kind of juxtapose those. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I looking at that incorrectly? Do you guys see it differently?
The funny fact about coming from the communities I come from, or come from the community, Dev does enlighten. Like, his point was, over the last like year or two, Vaush has burned a lot of bridges. Like, this might be the controversy that finally buries him to a degree, because him and Destiny were already kind of off multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very off, very bridge burn.
Like, you're talking like other bread tubers in that space as well. Vaush is like, he's like an icon to Unspoken, but he has a lot. It's like his credibility has gone down, and his likability and stuff is actually fallen in the last year or two. And it's not like he has a lot of major allies, because it's not even, because in one of the tweets, Destiny like ripped into him hardcore. Like,
he's done it quite a few times.
and this was over this like a day or two ago. He goes, yeah, I knew there was issues.
For sure. It kind of spawned, his career kind of spawned from the controversy in Destiny's chat, his, Discord or whatever. So yeah, I could definitely
So
see him
you're seeing
kind
a
of
lot
knowing
of
what's
stuff
going on.
in the space, right? Like Vaush,
Yeah.
Vaush's stuff is, I mean, I'm not saying the idea but the idea of burned bridges and other stuff, like his orbiters and liking him has been pretty much, but it's also been due to the backlash of, you could say, a quote unquote progressivism took a hit amongst certain people, but the same way Vaush was like not the darling he was. It went to some others. It may have gone back to, I think, what was it? Sam Cedar. Who's the Minority Report guy? Sam Cedar.
Yeah, that one is Sam Cedar.
Like, it's gone.
Pretty sure.
So yeah, Vaush was dealing with, he's no longer the darling of the like political side over there. And
he's always been pretty controversial. I don't know. Like, I think his darling status is temporary at best, but he definitely still gets views. He has really hot takes that I don't know how it keeps an audience there, but Yeah, it just seems like it's controversy after
Basically,
controversy with that
I will
dude.
say this: you can pretty much, because a lot of what I do is like if he sees my stuff that I do, like if I look into somebody, like when I look into things.
I just don't see him looking into any of us. But
No,
fair
when I
enough.
say when I look
Magically,
into
if that
things,
happens.
right? You need to
Hmm.
know where opinions come from. So certain opinions in communities usually come from sources. Like in sometimes that side of the internet, it usually either comes from either Destiny or Vaush. Or and then it spreads out from there. So you sometimes would used to pay attention to that particular source, if that makes sense. Now, I have seen increasingly less now Vosh's energy combined with the bridges burned and his controversial nature. It's actually gone to other people who are in that sphere.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Shark is even bigger in his space now. What?
Yeah.
Like,
there has been a lot of shifting in there. Destiny still seems to be holding his spot, which is great. I mean, I know he's not super progressive. He's the omni-liberal, but
he doesn't like.
I don't know. He's the only one that
Destiny has
seems to be
survived.
consistent.
He's regained some, but Destiny still has taken a hit from I think it's last year's when Keffels tried to ruin it. I think it was last.
Yeah, and he did go through his recent marriage thing. I know a lot of the red pillars were really kind of trying to rag on that, but I don't know. I can't see any of those controversies
Not even
close to this.
because
Like even when he used to say, like even when he used to have some CP debates back in the day, it was more like, yeah, there might be an ethical reason for like treatment or destigmatization, but I don't. He seemed to have a reasonable position. Like Vaush is. I can't say that I've ever understood his position, like equating it to, cocoa butter or coffee or cobalt mining. Like, I don't know. That seems so strange. And then that mixed with everything, if I'm to make a prediction, I don't think he can recover from this. I think it will make him a laughingstock, but maybe
I
I'm
don't think
wrong.
he'll. I'll
Prove me
say
wrong,
this: I
Vaush.
don't think he'll recover. He won't recover as full. It might take a lot of time, because the thing about it is, like, you'll still see Vaush quoted, but
for sure, he's got a million
because
meme
he
quotes out there, man.
has not just memes; it's the other parts. Because Vaush comes from when you ever see him in debates, he's notable for going for it doesn't have to be the truthful, honest win. Like Sargon.
Yeah, the Doomer video is Vaush unironically evil explains a lot of that in general. But yeah, he'll sort of
Hey Vincent, can I get your kind of final thoughts on it? Do you think he's nuked his career with this? Do you think that he can come back from this?
He's going to take the hit. Okay. He's going to come back stronger than. No, I don't think he'll come back stronger. He's going to take a hit. Okay. He's going to have to weather the storm.
This is just confirmation of everything that was a meme before, but maybe I'm wrong. But
yeah, he's going to have to go double fortress art. Okay. Maybe do some ally building to sort of get out there, because he's been rather burning bridgey over the last few years with he's going to have to change his ways, or he is going to. It really just depends on how he plays it. If he keeps on playing the fortress arc, he's just going to dwindle and dwindle. His sort of core audience is just going to slowly shed. He's going to have to make new allies and new alliances.
Do you see him playing well with others, though? I'm just wondering if he can.
That's the question.
You're saying like new alliances,
because I have to say
the progressive victory
temporary.
thing. He sort of took. He was trying to make peace with Destiny. I saw the sort of Destiny talking about after that event, how that was weird and shit like that. Like, it seems like even Keffels made better terms with Destiny, and her drama with Destiny was more recent. No, maybe this was just surface level optic stuff.
So
I think he's just
he was
in a
damn
corner.
near a lawsuit. So
he's gonna have to do something. He might have to eke out a victory over someone to come back on top. He needs to wait until something else really pops up in here, a deflection, so to speak.
I don't know.
Something worse.
Maybe I'm
he's
being
gonna
the
have to
doomer
make
here,
a pivot.
See,
I just see this as the end, but maybe I'm wrong. I would have to think there's going to be a lot of fallout on
Illuminati,
this.
take all the other examples of disgrace. Illuminati still makes videos, okay? She has all her comments turned off. Her views are dwindling. Who knows how well that's going to go? Hell, Nicholas DiOrio did something about Kiwi. Supposedly, he dodged talking to a minor years ago and even did better than ever. But that's just because he had all his friends sort of forget about it and stuff like that. You need people to forget about it. This is why not talking about it's generally the best approach, because people, if you don't, the more you react, like Tiamat can probably tell you, a lot of this Eric July and other stuff probably would have died down if Eric July just ignored it all. So
to be
yeah,
fair, like that's why I say the internet, like especially when I was doing something on Twitter, like half these people have a memory of a goldfish. Like
yes, but there will be people there to bleed someone like Vaush dry. Okay, they will constantly hit him. It's just a matter of what friends and what sort of political power. And Vaush is just.
Well, that's what I was going to say. His main thing is he's not going away. This is an election year, so he needs to do a ton of election coverage. He's going to do a ton of political coverage. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he can probably weather
so I
it
don't know.
out and maybe even build back up. But if people stay on him, no, it just depends on how things play out from here and how he reacts. I think really the disingenuous thing with H3H3 was a big mistake, in my opinion, because that's like cutting off a certain sizable thing, calling them bad faith when they took such effort to be good faith. That's my thoughts.
So I say though on this because he is okay. Vaush's audience is a political animal thing. Like there's a lot of people in that community, strangely enough, like who I've been dealing with, like to give people idea. It's called woke hammer or left hammer community. They're pretty much like-minded, and there was a lot of people that I had to actually block that were actually trying to stalk me and other things, and they're pretty much like, and they're fun. That's an old story unto itself, but they're very similar. Like you could tell they watch Vaush and do other things, and I'm like, and the thing is, some of these people are furries with very interesting artwork on their profiles, and I immediately just went when they got into that thread, blocked them. And they're like, well, but they haven't seen. I'm just like, no, I don't want anywhere this near my timeline at all. Like,
Yeah, I kind of didn't want to either, but after you brought it to my attention,
but
it's
this
like
is a story.
This particular
this
thing
actually confirms
huge.
Almost all the rumors over the last like 2-3 years. And
I almost forgot something.
2016, man.
I almost forgot something. If there's some stories to come out, I brought up the Illuminati stuff and some other things like that. If there's people who want to come out against Vaush now, that's going to be a massive blow. Let's hope he hasn't offended too many people or
now, I will say
too many
turns
that he can spin towards that.
Now, I will say the only
remember, at any time, he's 2 hours away from being.
I will say
possibly
Vaush's saving grace.
Sounds like a detriment to him then.
Now that Vaush's saving grace in this year is it?
He has no saving grace. Okay, stop COVID. Tiamat, are you a secret? Are you a secret Vaush fan?
No,
I heard disappointed in it?
I heard you do like the dog pill.
Are you in the Vaush stable?
I heard you like the dog pill though, Vincent.
Why do you have to lie? Okay, like I would tell you anything
on the dog pill
on the internet. Okay,
is there
you're just making shit
that
up?
You guys...
Yeah.
I just want to say
Tiamat is definitely.
I want to say though
his lying self.
I want to say his saving grace will be the political cycle this year. That will be the saving.
So that's
grace.
The one thing that I could see. Do you think
as long as no one comes out against him? Remember the cat with the ContraPoints thing and the cat Black coming out about the DMs. I'm thinking there's a few more things. will the people?
I'm thinking there's more than skeletons in his closet, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a matter
Well,
if they pull
gentlemen.
that trigger and how they do it. How long did H Bomber Guy take to? Supposedly a couple months before his hit piece. You need to be careful.
I think so. I think
Vaush
there
response
definitely
might be
could be a
down
few
the
in the
pipeline.
works.
Well,
yeah,
no.
and these
2-3
are
months.
kind of blowing up all over. Also, I don't think we plugged his either, but yeah, definitely check out Chud Logic's coverage on this. He definitely goes into more detail and brings up a few more of the videos. I'm sure he'll be making even more videos and more appearances on this matter in the next few days. But yeah, if you want to check out more of this, there is way too much of this out there. Just figured this seemed big and maybe we should document it. But yeah, guys, I think we're at like 2 hours and 15 about. I don't know. What you got going on your channel, Vincent? I think you got something coming up Thursday.
Oh, I've decided to do something a little bit more eclectic. I'm just going to do whatever. I'm just calling it whatever I want to do stream. It has a weird title, okay? I'm just going to lump some titles in. I'm going to address some ideas about gaming retroverse because of a sort of interaction I had in the comments. Nothing too seriously unless people want to debate it. The real kicker, because, you have the sort of a begin and intro section where you slowly wait for people to comment. Not that anyone comes into my stream, but that's besides the point. They watch them after the fact. I do know that, at least. You gotta love that. But the real kicker is I'm going to be doing a very special ranking of pedo allegations. And this is a perfect topic.
Wow.
Where does Vaush's sort of him having this lolly and horse porn fall? How much of an indicator that he might be a pedo comparison to other comparisons, people? Because there's
I think he's
big
definitely got
term
some indicators
called,
showing.
because there's a term that's becoming popular called pedo jacking that everyone's using,
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I want to
It
rank
seems to
the
be all the
evidence.
rage.
So anyone who wants to sort of help me determine the examples I want, come in a little bit late. That's when it's going to be. Help me determine where things like Vaush's downloads will come comparison to someone like Pyro doing furry inflation role play with a minor. I'm going to try to logically determine how accurate this evidence could be used to possibly, theoretically, mind you, allegedly determine if someone might actually be a real pedo or just a really insane weirdo. But yeah,
that sounds like a really tough and controversial stream.
And you are
man.
coming
That's kind of
off.
scary.
You're coming off the whole Mama Max culture thing. That was
exactly.
I can see how the two kind of fit together.
Also, the plague moth, where he's calling everyone who's criticizing him a pedo off of very little evidence. That's what spawned this idea in my head. Okay, there's just so many examples. I'll even stand up for someone like Xander Hall. He got mad at Keffels.
That did
for,
seem to be a bad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have plenty of examples.
I'm interested to see your
from.
stream, man. I'm kind of wondering how you're gonna tackle some of these subjects.
I'm willing to let a few
stream,
people come on to help me decide where we should place some of these examples on. But this is by the year thing, and that is definitely talked too long on my plug. So, Timon.
Well, Tiamat, I know you've been streaming a whole bunch lately. What you got going on your channel?
I kind of had a January off. It's like unofficially, it's just like I was doing commentary. I have currently, because of the demise of, I actually thought in honor, because I was like, Suicide Squad was coming out. Let's stream Arkham. And I'm trying to get through that, so bear with me as I learn OBS, and I actually had to have LG help me with some, but I had to get the mic quality up on. See, OBS has different settings than StreamYard's. Very
OBS is
there's
very
different
intensive.
different filters you can use.
Yeah, and
you can
the
download.
That's what I say. So I'm currently, if you check my channel, I went through and did Arkham Asylum, and now I'm working on Arkham City. And
hell yeah, you're working your way
that's
up. Are you excited to get to Suicide
I
Squad?
have no intention of
Or,
touching that game at all.
Oh come on! But you got
You don't like
do the
you don't
whole
like
saga.
the lowly
Completionist.
ivory that they created?
That is not okay. That is not
It's almost a lowly ivory.
okay. That is not so. The original Suicide Squad game was pitched at the end
Okay,
of
Tiamat. Okay, let's not get
All right,
into
fine.
that.
You don't have to do the Suicide game. Okay,
But I'm going
fine.
to be
sorry.
honest.
I'm
I
sorry.
think the actual ending, like at least Arkham City, and then I'm probably going to move along because here in a month or so, I mean, Dragon's Dogma's 2's coming out, and I'm going to have Frostpunk, but that's going to be that. But I am eventually going to get back into streaming Genshin, so that is, or something. And I do have random commentary as well, so it's not like it's like. But as I said, January is like December into January is a pretty much a lull time on YouTube. Like, you don't really have anything. You take the time off. I took January right before new seasons of games. And you might see me and Gray play Diablo 4.
You should have told Vaush all this stuff, okay? You should have told Vaush all this.
Yeah, we do have to
yeah.
be doing some gaming stuff in the future. But hell yeah, so check out both of their channels. I will link them in the description. I think I got super lazy and didn't put them in before this
And I
started,
will
but
say
as soon
too,
as
by
we're
the way,
over,
on
I will update the
I
description.
will say, if people see the Arkham like Asylum, let me know on that because some of that is recorded and cut. So it sounds good, right?
Yes, hate bomb his Arkham videos, everyone. I'm gonna
It's
do
not like
that
you're
part.
it's not like
Give
you're
him
getting
dislikes.
videos were actually good, by the way, yourself. Jokes aside.
I don't need to be good, okay? I am great.
Hey, this is all
okay?
practice, right?
See, I
It's true.
have
You
to-
guys are both enough.
I actually
it's
have to
okay.
tell you,
Enough.
though, I do
We
have
need
a
to get our own horses. I don't want a horse cock. That might be a little disturbing to me. But
Now, I did say I do
to
have
each his
like,
own.
I do say my schedule this week is I am going to try to do
He asked you to plug, not your life story. Oh,
I said
come
my
on, give
plans.
us a break. Let him end it. Let him end it. Haven't we suffered enough through the
Well,
Vaush?
yeah.
Okay, we can talk afterwards.
Everybody, thank you guys for joining us. Anybody watching this afterwards, hell yeah. Please check the description, see these guys' channels, check them out. But yeah, thanks for sticking with us, everybody. And yeah, with that, we say goodbye.